want the freedom of a call. An infinite storm of nothingness. The sky above the clouds and rainbows, the fate has a deeper word. I gave up hope, but I'm not going to be lost tomorrow. Yeah, manifest this hell. I'm gonna crawl. Slide to tranquility. Slide to domain. The car is not real. It's only my mind. Same old, bring it on down level. Same old, bring it on down level. Find out, conflict, sanity and insanity. Blue heat, black hearts, instincts and intellect. I want the freedom of a call. I want the freedom of a call. The sky above the clouds and rainbows, the fate has a deeper word. I gave up hope, but I'm not going to be lost tomorrow. Yeah, manifest this hell. I'm gonna crawl. The sky above the clouds, every more than fate has a deeper word. I'm gonna crawl. I want the freedom of a call. I want the freedom of a call. I want the freedom of a call. An infinite storm of nothingness. The sky above the clouds and rainbows, the fate has a deeper word. I gave up hope, but I'm not going to be lost tomorrow. Yeah, manifest this hell. I'm gonna crawl. I want the freedom of
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our fifth Strive ladder series for 2026. My name is TawnyHours. It's a pleasure to be your co-commentator for this evening. We have an awesome tournament lined up tonight. 35 entrants in our ongoing 2026 ladder series. It's ongoing. It's the major prized circuit for this year in Oceania. If you're tuning in from either domestically or internationally, we are Antiku. We run the most competitive, the best tournaments in OCE for Guilty Gear Strive, and the ladder series is the premier of them all. It is our main open bracket, so there's no any restrictions on any sort of skill level, anything like that. It's anyone can play for some serious prizing. We're going to be stuck into our first match here very shortly. That's TawnyHours versus Commander Fluffles, two regular Tawny goers here. And looks like we're jumping into it very shortly. But Just as a bit of a disclaimer before we jump into the matches, our prize pot is sitting at around $2.6 thousand. Absolutely mammoth money that we're all playing for. And this format, it does reward consistency. So if you're one of those players who is still tossing up whether or not to compete, whether or not it's worth it, you still have time here to jump in, get some points on the board, and get a chance at qualifying for our top 8 invitational at the end of the season. You qualify for that, you're in the money, baby. But saying all that, we're jumping into our first match here. As I mentioned, TawnyHours versus Commander Fluffles on the Potemkin. Here we go. Round 1 underway, and TawnyHours and Commander Fluffles. Little background behind these two players. Commander Fluffles, a regular Victorian local attendee, not known for the Potemkin, but trying a different strategy, I suppose. A new character on the horizons. TawnyHours, on the other hand, bit of an up-and-comer Leo main, as you can see right here. A lot of counter hits, but we get back thrown in the corner. A lot of meter available for Tawny, and we do spend it on the YRC. Follow up with a counter hit. Another IAD in, but again, that back throw incident. And look at this. Oh my goodness, a trade. Keeps you in the corner, toss a boom, but where to from here? We build the meter barely, and we find the kill with the cross-up. Great decision-making from TawnyHours in the scramble. Now round 2 underway here. Massive counter hit, forcing out a burst, and another IAD in here. And look at that. The back turn strike actually interrupted by the armor, but they crossed up so it doesn't matter, and now you're going through the wall. Resources to play with for Commander Fluffles, but our backdash gets caught. Yet another back throw incident and a counter hit CS. That is massive damage with that starter. Heavenly Potemkin Buster coming straight on through. That hurts real bad. Roughly even health, but look at this. Where to from here? The armor comes through. A gold burst, keep you in the corner. YRC in response, Tawny. So much value out of those YRCs. Heavenly just to escape. And it's just one interaction left for TawnyHours to claim the first game, but what a block on the tap dust. Instant, oh my goodness, instant Giganta in response, and it actually wins the interaction. Commander Fluffles tying up the rounds. And now look at this, already a good chunk of health off the board here. What was a really bad situation for Commander Fluffles has turned into something a bit better. Counter hit JD, forces a side swap, and yet another one with a jump over it. Maybe not the best use of space there, but can only focus on the present here. We have about a third health left on the side of 20, maybe less. Cross-up comes through. We've got our win condition. Where to from here? A massive counter hit. BTS. We're going to see the super. No. It's 214S. 100 meter for Tawny. Resources available for Commander Fluffles, and the instant reversal in response to the command grab. We have burst available. How are we going to use it? It's gold burst. And now you have to be so precise with your defense. 2H whiffs though, and a cross-up comes through. One more interaction, and TawnyHours, oh my goodness, taking an explosive first game here in our 5th ladder series for 2026. Amazing little interactions there. So scrambly, but in the end, Leo comes out on top. And if this game is anything like what we're going to be seeing for the rest of tonight, then I'm going to be losing my voice sooner rather than later with how exciting this gameplay is so far. Goodness gracious. Hope everyone who's tuning in is doing well as well. If you're tuning in from outside OCE, this is our main bracket for the year. It's a 4-month tournament circuit, prized as well. So both of these players are playing to accrue some points for a chance at our end of season invitational. And TawnyHours in this game too, really cooking right now, trying to make a case for themselves that they should be in that top 8 invitational. One more interaction, it's BTK to secure it with the perfect, no less. Massive counter hit starter as well. Leo, man, this BTJ shenanigans along with 2.0, it's just absolutely diabolical what this character can do now. Heat Tackle is tried, but blocked and punished. Good recognition from TawnyHours. A run up throw, not enough to build the meter, but just another BTK, and that's gonna do it. A very clean, very quick game 2 here for Tawny. As I was saying before I got interrupted by that insane Leo gameplay, yes, we are the main tournament hosters in OCE, and the ladder series is the major flagship annual tournament series that people play in for a chance to be throned the best player in the region, perhaps. Or at least make some money doing it. And it all culminates in an end-of-season invitational here. Game 3. Both of these players, I believe, have accrued some points, but compared to some of the frontrunners you'll be seeing later this evening, they've still got a long way to go. But that's okay. Game 3 underway here. Meter available for both. Slide head, run a little Oki, a Mega Fist to boot. And our health is absolutely depleting here. Heat Tackle, we had RC to extend, but that's okay. Nothing a follow-up 6H can't solve for us. Mega Fist tried on the round start. Little 2K2D action, get that cross up. That is true. It's a real setup. Leo, a lot of access to fake setups, but still massive mental stack. Really hard to keep track of what's real and what's not with this character. Now Commander Fluffle's really low on health here. It's only a couple interactions left. You're having to deal with Leo back turn. The counter hit comes through. Sends them through the wall. And TawnyHours on set point here against Commander Fluffle's, seeking a clean 3-0 to start off our tournament this evening. But that is going to be massive damage. Maybe just the one counter hit, no proper conversion. Your command grab gets backdashed. And look at this. Now you're stuck in the corner. Cross up with that new move. Overhead and just a little dash through as well. The mental stack is just too high against this character. Strong case for top one, I have to say. Another cross through. Great burst here, though. Mega Fist. And a fully charged dust comes through. Are we seeing the burst out of Tawny? Yes, we will. Instant Giganta, though. And that is going to be enough damage easily to kill for Commander Fluffles. On the board now. 1 game to Tawny's 2. Crazy stuff. And how quickly games can run away from you in this sort of setting. Players playing for pretty serious stakes and our nerves are high. And when you're playing characters like this that are so explosive, that can just decimate rounds in an instant, it's hard to keep up sometimes. Game 4 underway now. And I gotta say it, these instant air dashes from TawnyHours have really been working out for them. Pretty much 100% success rate. Never mind, make that 95 with that 6H. With a little anti-air there from Commander Fluffles, but what can we make of it? Counter hit forces a burst. Heat Tackle PRC, keep it safe. Trying to find one more opening. It's the Mega Fist. Plus a 6K, keep them in the corner. Run what you can. Oh, just a little too plus for the command grab. Now you're stuck in the corner here. Yet again, counter hit. Back turn S. Plus the super. Not quite enough to kill, but we do have resources available for Commander Fluffles. What are we going to use? It's going to be BRC. We try a tap dust, but it whiffs. I think that might have been missed input throw. Regardless, though, TawnyHours now on set point again. Just spacing around those far-reaching normals. That 5H, that 6H. Little tick throw action in response. Open up on the crosser, and there we go. Commander Fluffles finally calling out some of the fake setups, and we land a Potemkin Buster. Better late than never. But no follow-up Heat Tackle round. It's okay. Find the opening with the 5H in the end. Commander Fluffles really fighting back here. Just clawing, clinging on to whatever opportunity they have available to them. Burst gone now, and yet another IAG working out for TawnyHours. Burst to keep the corner. I don't mind that choice, and the RC to extend. You're going through the wall. Now Commander Fluffles at risk of losing the set here. Command grab not punished, not really a big deal. Toss an S-boom, hold a flick. And where to from here? We actually get our backdash called out there. Ruda slide here, we actually get the knockdown. Running the pressure and a little tick throw there. One more opening is surely going to do it for Commander Fluffles. Maybe one more. Counter hit flick and the 6H and Commander Fluffles tying it up. 2-2. Somebody is going to make it to 3-2, but remains to be seen who. TawnyHours really started off this set with a lot of momentum, just flying out the gate. Ready to run crazy pressure on that Potemkin, but looking like Commander Fluffles has sort of recalibrated a bit, got a bit of a download. Now it really does seem tied up and could be anyone's game. Game 5, the decider here for our first game this evening. Counter hit, heat tackle to start us off. Little jab action. Backdash called out, Hammerfall in response, and Commander Fluffles finding ways of taking back his turn against TawnyHours, abusing these player habits, calling out these backdashes. And a nice little PRC Potemkin Buster. Bit of scaling on that. Now in 2.0, YRC. Yet another jump in, but 2H. It's very thin, doesn't reach. Forces a gold burst out of TawnyHours. The health disparities slowly widening. Garuda impact. Rip a flash kick in response. Keep it as safe as possible. 2H finds its mark. No RC, but yet another 6H. And all of a sudden, Commander Fluffles is on set point here with the fairly rare Potemkin. I don't recall seeing this character too much from Commander, but looking pretty powerful so far. Massive air to air there with the heat tackle. Tries the command grab, fails. And it's Gold Burst in response. Hammerfall PRC. We've tried that one before. Tawny is ready for it. But instant Gigantokai. And we get the heat tackle conversion as well. Commander Fluffles makes the reverse 3-2 happen. And wins the set, moves on to fight our #1 seed of the tournament. That is MetallicCake of international repute, the very one. But what a set to kick us off here. Super even, super scrappy. But in the end, the Potemkin takes it with the reverse sweep. TawnyHours on the loser's side of the bracket now. Still got a chance to make it on through. And Commander Fluffles got his work cut out for him against MetallicCake as well. But we move swiftly on to our next match. We have two pretty regular players in our tournaments. Looking like Bread on the Faust. Staple Faust main here in OCE up against Eluhim on that Axel Low. One of the Axel soldiers that we have down here. The platoons for which are ever growing. Just seems like every day there's more Axel mains, and that's okay. Players love this character, and look how effective it is. We're already underway game 1 here, and less than half health here for Bread. Nice little pressure sequence starting here for Eluhim. 2H's counter hit forces a burst out of Eluhim. Toss an Afro, we've got Love available. Run a bit of pressure as well. Float in. Now Bread is the one running the pressure here. What openings can we get? Turns out not much, just a 5p in response by Eluhim. Axel Bomber whiffing, but we just land and we throw. Ain't nothing to it. Round 2 here. Dash 5k, the round start response, and we have a full conversion here. Toss a couple items. We've got Trumper available for us. And now Meteor's Tap Dust is going to do it. Good lord, the hit stop on that was insane. Too many things on the screen. Health disparity. Bit low here for Eluhim. Toss away and it's deflect shield. Try and get back to neutral, but look at this. We have so many options here. It's YRC in response. We're back in neutral. A little run-up action. Eluhim trying to ride this momentum. Not let Bread get too far. Nice little scarecrow there. Just to get in, and we get caught pressing. Toss him into the ground, and that ties up the rounds in this game 1. Plays a little more patient this round start, but already in the corner here. Half burst gone for Eluhim, and now the command grab whiffs gives Bread a chance to run a little bit of pressure, but again, such great use of this special. And the snip comes through. Afro on deck. A lot of pressure that Eluhim has to hold now. All FD'd, and your throw attempt actually gets called out here. 2S whiffing though. Instant burst to keep the corner. We have meter. What are we going to use on? Of course, it's the bone crushing excitement. And of course, that's going to kill. Black bars on the screen. Game 1 to Bread. Nice stuff. And these players tonight, they're playing real quick. Barely giving me a chance to breathe. That's okay. Who needs to breathe on comms, you know? So Bread, just to touch a little bit on who this player is. She has been a pretty staple player in our intermediates scene for some time now. Very skilled Faust main. Dedicated to that Faust grind. And one of the contenders, I think, for maybe a top 16 placement, I reckon. That's a fair call. Eluhim, on the other hand, a bit newer to the tournament scene, but clearly can hang with Inter's strongest. Axelor, of course, as well, really strong this patch. Very powerful stuff, especially when handled by the right player. We have some of our strongest players in the region main this character, namely young Ollie Dog, who is in the tournament tonight at seed number 2. Eluhim doing their best impression here of the GOAT. Toss a meteor. Snail, unfortunately, we get punished for that with the meteors. Toss of weight. Flex shield barely active enough, but I mean, look at this pressure. We're just FDing all of it, but we can't really get out of the situation perfectly. Never mind. Anti-air 5P, that will do the job. Tap does his RC though. Trust the command grab, and we do get punished actually. Time stop available, it's blocked, no biggie. Bomb here though. The Ransom 8 brings Bread closer. Calls her out in the air. Scarecrow is the option here in response to Renson, and a great opening here for Bread. How are we going to use it? The same side Scarecrow was the option. It was blocked. Great recognition by Eluhim. 2D. And a bomb as well. Run up, snip. The Faust classic, baby, to close out that round. Barely not dropping that game there. Tying up the rounds instead. Great performance by Bread so far, but Eluhim showing that they really can hang. Look at this damage, already under half health. It hasn't even been 10 seconds. Jump out, and we get back thrown for our trouble. Resources nearly available here for Bread, but how best to use them, that is the question. It's a PRC Scarecrow, as we've been seeing regularly so far. And the fully charged Scalpel Thrust is going to call out your 6P. Where to from here? 2K2D in response, forcing a burst, keeping the corner. Tossing a hammer, and we get counter hit for our trouble. We don't have the RC extension, but the inst overhead off the mix RC will do it. Bread claiming our second game here. Very nice stuff so far. And as I mentioned, Eluhim, pretty new to the competitive scene. far as I know anyway. But doing a really good job so far keeping up with Bread despite the game's disadvantage. We head into game 3 here between Eluhim and Bread. But just nice to see that a lot more competent, capable Axel mains in the scene lately. These players have just been non-stop improving. Look at this double jump to avoid the snip and the homies as well. Little mix action. YRC actually works out here after a bit of a delay. Command grab Oki. Okie dokie. Toss him in the corner. Little NATO action and the fast slash though. Comes through. Full conversion mid-screen. Bomb available. We're just going to wait that one out. And the Scarecrow. Absolutely perfect timing there by Bread. Toss an item to keep the corner and run the snip, snip, snip. Pressure reset. And then another overhead comes through. Bread claiming that round in what seemed like quite a disadvantaged state for her. But it's no matter. Set point here for Bread. Big counter hit air to wear. Little float over. And Bread truly is in the driver's seat right now. Eluhim really on the back foot. Double jab, jab, but we get back thrown for our trouble. And opened up with the low as well. Tap Dust RC. Axel Bomber comes through, and that's going to be a decent chunk of change on the health bar. Snail comes through. That was definitely Rainwater though. Gold Bass comes through. Maybe one of 2K2D. I'm not sure, but a Tap Dust comes through. And that is tough to deal with. Now at a resource disadvantage, and Eluhim at risk of stealing away this set point game. Ultimately will come down to a few key decisions. If Bread gets 50 meter, they're definitely going to be using Scarecrow, but in this case, actually works out for Eluhim. Jump, jump, RC pressure, and just the run-up throw, the confidence out of the Axel main so far. 2K Duty comes through. Hold this NATO for me. It's going to be YRC'd. Command grab. And another 2K Duty. Eluhim on the board now. 1 game to 2. I wonder if we are seeing the makings of another reverse sweep here. Bread with a really commanding start, but Eluhim winning out in the scrap. Have to wait and see. Bread? Pretty consistent though, I gotta say. Quite skilled. Can switch on a dime, switch up her strategy when need be, and this might be one of those times. Oh my goodness gracious, that's a crazy start to our game 4 here. Huge burst bait, toss a bomb. Snip is tried, miss input, and we get the conversion off the explosion. Every Faust's dream. Incorporating bomb explosion into your combos, or maybe at least a banana peel slip. And that's a big conversion as well, going for one more opening. It's just going to be the tick throw into that command grab. Send them on through, and Bread again. Quickly as you like on set point against Eluhim. Massive counter hit 2H. Starts us off, run a little mix, it's blocked. Dash up 5k is the response here. Bread very much willing. Oh my goodness gracious. Gold burst in their face, and then the meteors come through. Crazy sequence there. PRC, and we get the junk cancel burst fade. Absolutely devastating. Toss another item, and we get snipped one more time. OTG not enough to kill, but follow up 2P will. It's no biggie to Bread number 2, and she moves on in our bracket. Well played by Eluhim. Nice game there. Nice win. But in the end, competitive consistency and experience that ends up coming out on top here. And Bread moves on to fight Sky. Little Faust mirror for ya. Nice showing there. We move swiftly on to our next match. That is going to be Conflagads up against Cring. Cring, pretty stable. Axel main as well. Might see a bit of Axel, but I did see a cheeky Lucy just then. I know that they've got a pocket Lucy. Conflagads, on the other hand, definitely a front runner for our invitational qualifier for sure. Depending on their performance throughout this season, they could secure themselves a spot in our top 8 invitational, but it's been a little bit of a slow start to the 2026 season for them. Not to say anything about their skill, easily the most skilled Ramlethal in the region. Absolute demon to deal with, depending on how well you manage Ram. And we are going to see exactly how well Cring manages this character and this player in just a few.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society, so instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts.
Running this intro. Let him rock. Bring down the guillotine, baby. Alright. Ram and Axel. Cring versus Conflagads here. Off to the races. Game 1. Burst already gone for Cring. It's gonna be double jump. Flip here for Conflagads. Tries tossing a sword, but just not dealing with it. Kept in the corner with that JP. That is a Ram classic and definitely one of Conflagads' favorite strats to keep the pressure on the opponent in the corner. Instant Mortabato as well. Definitely saying no to any sort of pressure running by Cring. Toss a sword while the Renson happens. And an instant IB on that Wrecker 2. Very nice there. Back throw keeps them in the corner, and an Axel Bomber securing that first round here. Didn't feel quite that much of a disparity in health, but clearly was enough to get the job done. It's an explosion. We're just keeping our distance here. Happy to play slow and chilling. Jumping in the corner, Cring representing a lot of that in round 1, and whatever gets the job done, it's no biggie. Air Snail whiffing, but no big deal. Rainwater calling out Conflagads, and this is looking really bleak for the Ram right now. Toss a sword. And a little anti-air as well, but what can we do with it? Not much. We're back at square one, and quickly as you like, we're back at the cab. Cring taking game 1 here. And this is kind of what you got to do with this character. You just got to lock them down. Don't let them play their game. Don't let them run their game plan. And especially a player like Conflagads, who is momentum heavy and really quite a demon to deal with on defense. If you're dealing with Conflagads' pressure, you're really in a bad spot. And Cring knows it, so they keep Con completely locked down with normals. Chilling, just play it slow, patient. Game 2 underway here. Burst already gone, but a massive counter hit 5H comes through. A jump gets called out, and this is the start of a good thing for Conflagads. Jab. Toss a sword as well. Sword. Time stop super available here. Oh, but no, we get caught on the Renson 8. Devastating here. Instant air dash over, and Conflagads, very nice little jump in there, securing that round. Jab. And this round 2, Cring down a round, but up the exchange with the resources available. Now, instantly, good value out of that deflect shield here, and resetting back to neutral with a good chunk of health off the table here for Conflagads. Like a 3 instantly, and we get opened up with the 2S. But back we go, 5H trades, unfortunate for Conflagads. Cring plenty happy to see that though. Counter hit JS, and we have the conversion plus the command grab. Very nice. Round a piece here. Counter hit 2S. It's looking a little tough here for Conflagads. Cring just doing such a good job of keeping them out. But that said, here we go. Stuck in the corner. Never mind. We drop burst instantly. So willing to just instantly rip resources here. And it's been working out so far. But that said, Conflagads still able to find openings. And this is one of them. No. Actually whiff on the JS. And this gives Cring a chance to reset back to neutral. Oh my goodness, and a full punish with that CS. This is not a great situation to be in as Conflagads, but a little dash block action. Cring just needs to keep the space as much as possible, but Ramlethal normals just reaching from a far, far away place is going to secure it for Conflagads. That is a game apiece here. Very nice performance from both here, and gotta say, Cring has come a long, long way as an Axel main. All these Axel players, as I was saying before in our previous match, Eluhim versus Bread, all the Axel players in OC really showing a lot of improvement over the last handful of months. Was definitely a time when Cring would have struggled to scrap with Conflagads, I reckon. But now, pretty much going band for band, and we are tied up going into this game 3 here. Tries a little shimmy action. Looking for Cring to sort of blink on defense, toss a sword, and yes we do. We call out the throw attempt. And then send them through. 5p, 2p. Now it's Conflagads who's playing a bit more patient here. Mostly to their benefit, but look at this. Double jump, JH, and the same side JD. Where to from here? No conversion off the air hit. It's a little tricky here, but just the Wrecker is going to collect that round. Oh my goodness. And what a conversion with the counter blitz. First one we've seen tonight, and perhaps the first of many. Huge start in this second round here for Conflagads, and Cring might need to reevaluate the strategy from here. You really don't want to get too close to Conflagads, as you can see. It's going to be Calvados to send you through. Not enough to kill. But look at this 50 meter, 100 burst. How are we using it? It's going to be the YRC. Oh my goodness. And the massive windshield wipers. Plus another fast slash is going to do it for Conflagads. Good attempt. I think that full screen run up was trying to get a jump scare throw going, but Conflagads way too ready for it. Get a little sip of water. Got to keep those commentators hydrated. Alrighty, back in the game. Game 4 here. Conflagads just needs one more game to win the set and move on to fight GracialChasm. Another strong contender in our ladder series. But look at this. Cring, big health advantage right now, but we've seen how quickly that can go astray. It might just start off like this. A flip RC and a fully charged dust. Nice routing here by Conflagads. And where to from here? Do we dare drop burst in this scenario? Health is pretty even, but yes, we are going to. But we toss a sword and get interrupted on our Oki attempt. The YRC comes through, and that is devastating for Cring. Conflagads collecting the kill and moving on into our set point round. Instant burst from Con, and if they can find just a couple counter hits here, just a couple, they will be moving on in our bracket. But Cring, desperate to not let that happen. Desperate as he might be, it might just not be enough dealing with this sword pressure. And the YRC comes through. Oh, but the instant Mortabato in response to the 2H, that was so brave. What a read. But now back to neutral. And where to from here? We get caught with the Ondo. Tries a Renson 8 for your trouble, but 6P dealing with the air button. Toss a sword and double jump yet again. It finally gets anti-air here, and one more opening is going to do it. Tap Dust actually blocked, but made safe by the sword. Great pressure sequence from Conflagads, and the run-up throw is going to finalize things for Conflagads. Very nice stuff. And Conflagads moves on in our bracket to face, let's see here. Yes, GracialChasm, as I mentioned before, really impressive stuff there. Con could have easily have let that situation run astray. Could have let Cring play their game, but in the end, Ramlethal too much to handle, and Cring moves on in our losers side of the bracket. As we move on to our next game, we have Pow on the Sin up against Soop on the Anji. Squad up, infighting, inbound here in our game 1. And these two competitors, long time OCE Tawny enjoyers, especially Soop as an Antiku member themselves. Not gonna run any bias comms, I promise. But we'll just have to see how things turn out. Rin, DP'd, instant spin comes through, and the PRC, great recognition by Pow. And I gotta say, Pow's fundies at this game has always been a fundamental oriented sort of player, kind of represented in the Sin pick. Focused on whiff punishes, focused on spacing, and it's often working out, as you can see. Really timely space button, finding an opening, trying to equalize the health here, and look at this, just playing around the anti-air spacings perfectly. Well, action, as I was saying, Nagiha gets blocked, no proper punish though, and a little 2S action, Soop taking that round. Just trying to say, Pow, very fundamentally oriented player, and really comes in part from her experience with Granblue Rising, which she was on for some while during Season 3 and a bit of 4. That's led her to become really solid. And look at this pressure that you're dealing with. L-Cunt counter hit comes through, 6k to call out your backdash, plus a little eat action. It's actually useful this season. Don't get sent through, get sour spotted, but we call out the parry, and very nice recognition by Pow there. Now Soop, full burst available, but Rin gets blocked here, and this is gonna be a tough start here for the Anji. Yet again, getting our backdashes called out. Instead, it's Gold Burst on Wake Up. A nice 6p by Soop, calling out the reset attempt. Spin Nagiha, and an overhead comes through as well. Another overhead. How many openings will we need? Nagiha block gives Pow her turn back, which is going to make the most of this. Surely, maybe not. Instead, it's instant DP. CS comes through, but just a little late. No punish. And it is back and forth. L-Cunt counter hit comes through, and this time, surely, not going to be dropped. Very nice there. Rounding from Pow, but what a mash out. I think the scaling on this is just too much to actually kill, but it's just a run-up throw by Soop, and Soop taking game 1 here. I feel like you can see that these players have played each other many, many times. Of course, the two are good friends. Shout out Squad Up. So they're very familiar with each other's habits. And so, I mean, you can sort of see it in the way that Power's navigating Soop's air presence and movement, just sort of calling out a lot of the air buttons with IBD button. Nice confirm here in our game 2 by Power. That said though, Soop just as conscientious of Power's habits as well. Knowing when to mash, knowing when's a good time to drop that gold burst, and it's right now. Overhead comes through, RC extension as well. Little hop, little throw. Toss a fan as well. Nagi Heart, and we're -7, but it just does not matter. Rip that parry. What a read by Soop here. RC extension, we find an opening with the follow-up, and what a confirm off of that 2S. It actually doesn't combo, so we get a punish. We drop the burst instantly, and we get called out, but our follow-up button whiffs, and Soop is ready to capitalize. Geez, the reactions there. I put the controller down myself, but Soop clearly fully conscientious for tonight's match. As you'd need to be, the stakes are high. People are playing for some serious money here. Both players playing really strong. Burst gone now by Soop. Cancel off 5H1, and we find an opening. No full conversion. That's okay. We can run some corner pressure. But no, look at these mashes. That's about the third one that has really worked out in Soop's favor. It's a tick throw. We have a lot of health to get through, but how are we going to do it? Instead, find a conversion with the fast slash, toss a super as well. And the hop into the throw. We have meter available. Wow, we're going to use it. We aren't. We're going to get tick thrown, and Soop really running away with the momentum in this set. Up 2 games now. And point of interest in the goings-on of our bracket. The winner of this match moves on to fight Waisen on the Giovanna, Mistake's very own. And Waisen getting to that point after 3-2ing our second seed, that is Ollie Dog. The young goat on that Axel low. Ollie Dog already down in losers now. A lot of players pretty happy to see that. Waisen probably going to feel really good about that win. Soon to fight the winner of this match here. Might be Soop at this rate. It's looking pretty likely in this game 3, but I've seen Power come back from worse. But wow, what a conversion there. 6P Fusion into the fan super. Gosh, just completely ready to capitalize off the stray hit there. Little strike throw action. Rin is RC'd, and we get our parry called out. Second time this set. Nice backdash 2K2D, no RC. Unfortunate, we get back thrown on the tap dust attempt. And our backdash as well called out yet again. YRC is the choice, keep it safe, but unfortunately, on the way down we get counter hit, and can we fully convert this? We have RC to extend, no! Doesn't work out for Power, but a fortunate air throw in the end is going to secure her that round. Rin blocked, instant burst comes through. Toss a fan, and it's DP in response. Now look at this, it's sort of seeming like Power's getting a bit of momentum on her side. Little eat action for that extra buff. Massive counter hit 6K as well. Keeping the corner. Nope, sending him through the wall. What are we going to do with this 50 meter? It's BRC forward into the PRC. The slowdown, we're conscious of it, so we use it to our advantage. But 100 meter available and full burst for Power. In this case, it might not matter. This is a big hill decline in terms of resources. How are we going to use it? We're actually going to call out the gold burst with a little shimmy. YRC in response by Soop, and the burst is perfectly timed. Wedgie from here tries an air with the toss a butterfly. Oh my gosh! And it's just DP in response by Pow. Goodness gracious. Absolute stare down. Both players just absolutely on a Mexican standoff there. That was nuts. Really good scramble, but in the end, Pow takes that one. On the board now, 1-2 against Soop. A few of those matches, well, it's a few of the matches that we've seen tonight have been going along those lines. Start off with a clean 2 games. Then the opponent gets a game on the board. And from there, really anything can happen. Soop now has the responsibility to not let things get out of hand, and he is doing a good job of that so far. Very clean advantage here in this first round of game 4. Rin finds an opening, can't combo off it. But an L-Cunt in response there. Oh my goodness gracious. Spin comes through. That's surely going to be enough with the RC extension. Very nice. Now Soop on set point here. Spin counter here, and that is going to force a burst. Keep the corner. It's going to force a burst in response. Now counter hit 6B comes through. Nice anti-air by Soop. Finding openings with these Rins, but unfortunately can't really do much with them just due to the nature of the move. And we get opened up with the CS into the super. Send them on through and open up yet again. Not going to be able to use a drop of this 100 meter. Unfortunate. But we do have a decent burst lead here. What can we do with it? Sure can't Wild Assault anymore, that's for certain. But maybe a deflection hero there might come through. Midori comes through. Nagiha, tries to keep the pressure going, but Pow ready to take advantage. Not just 1, but 2 counter hit fast slashes, and suddenly it's Soop on the back foot. Never mind, looking like we can get a lot of value off this counter hit 5-8 starter. Look at this route, keeping the corner. I don't mind that choice by Soop, but yet again, Pow pressing after empowered Nagiha, and it's been working out a lot here. Look at that though. RC combo available and perfect. Delays on the combo as well to send her through. This is Pow's last chance. It's BRC forward. Tries an air stall. Burst comes through at the perfect moment. Nagiha RC, and the tap dust is gonna do it. Soop cleaning house in a 3-1 set over Pow's Sin. Nice stuff by the Anji main. And well fought by Pow as well, but I guess those habits, man, they die hard sometimes. Especially if you're playing someone who knows how to take full advantage. Well played by both. Pow moving on to the loser's side of the bracket, while Soop moves on to fight Waisen on stream. Not right now, but in a game or two's time. Instead, we move on to our top 8 qualifier for this bracket. That is number 1 seed, Mr. Stream Sniper himself, MetallicCake, on the patented Eno, up against Kyriachos on that Nagoriyuki. Really nice stuff here. And MetallicCake, he is one of the front runners of this entire tournament to win it all. Currently in 2nd place in points, behind Olidog. Olidog, who is currently in the losers side of the bracket right now. MetallicCake sitting at 170 points to Olidog's 230. He's going to have his work cut out for him if he wants that number 1 spot in the next couple of weeks. Right now, though, up against Kyriachos, it's pretty straightforward work here. Clean little round there by Metallic. Kyriachos now down a little burst, but we'll have it soon enough. Oh my goodness. Dash forward, and of course, Nago, one of these matchups that Metallic is really a specialist in, I would have to say. Knows all about it and has for years. Look at this jump in, counter hit, forcing a burst out of Kyriachos, and what can Kyriachos do from here? It's backdash, get out of dodge, swipe that credit card, and instant block on the 6H. Actually, from here, it's an air throw. God, what a crazy air throw that was. Plus the RC is going to do enough to take that game. Game 1 clean as you like. On the side of MetallicCake. And Kyriachos, known for a couple different characters, one of which being Pot, also has that pocket soul as most tend to do. But sticking with the Nago for now. Here we go. Game 2 underway. Tries a DP. Round start, but ends up losing burst. And now we're stuck in the corner. Guess is wrong, and you're going straight through the wall. Hold this super for me real quick. Double overhead, and I mean, this is the Eno experience. Look at that, a perfect round. Coming through for MetallicCake, and it's really at risk of just being completely stolen away here this set from Kyriachos. Metallic seeming completely unfazed right now. Kyriachos struggling to even find a single opening. Look at that perfect spacing there. With punishing the Beyblade. Double 2K, hold this note Oki for me as well. Burst in response here. IB not losing any damage from the chip. Instead, it's going to be a full conversion. Send you through the wall. No, the double overhead actually rarely whiff. A rare whiff here for MetallicCake, but look at that. 5p anti-air, that's all you need. Send them on through. Dive. No need to RC. Swipe that credit card, see what we can make happen, but it's looking like it's not going to be enough with the PRC off the ACL, and you go straight through with the MLA. MetallicCake up 2. Possibly the fastest set that we've seen tonight, but don't count Kyriachos out just yet. It is looking a little bleak, but see if you can't steal away a round, convert that into a game, and get that momentum going. All right, game 4 here. I mean 3. That's my bad. Game 3 here. I'm so used to saying game 4 tonight. We've just been seeing a lot of game 4s, but MetallicCake clearly not interested in making it to a 4th game. Wants to close it out here and now. Level 3 blood available, and finally a single opening here for Kyriachos. Fukio in with the throw. This is more than Kyriachos has had all set, and it's looking okay so far. 2H whiffing though, and MetallicCake ready to take advantage. Instant momentum shift, and it forces a burst out of Kyriachos. 2K2D having to hold all this mix now, and you're going to pop. We're ready to block, and it's going to be... No, the throw actually whiffs the pushback from the pop, and the instant hole-in-one super. Kyriachos absolutely happy to take those. And off the back of that throw, I mean, look at this. This could end up quite bad for Kyriachos. Perfectly spaced 2S, though, by MetallicCake. And already coast to coast, you're in one corner, now in another. Empty jump into the hop, and the full route into the super. Is that going to be enough to kill? No. One more opening surely will do it. Just a simple low, and MetallicCake on set point here. That first round, keen to show that that was just a mere mishap. Happens to the best of us. Doesn't really matter in the end, and the instant jump cancel as well there to bait out the burst. Kyriachos has been bursting there quite regularly, but really cannot afford any more mistakes here, I think. Credit card is swiped. Toss a 5H, try another one, but MetallicCake ready to challenge this time. Finds an opening with the overhead, doesn't get the 5H pickup, but one more 50-50. YRC comes through and it works out, but 2K2D. Oh my goodness. Oh, the T-back into the throw. Good lord. Just staring him down. In those last couple seconds. Nice one from MetallicCake there. Clinical sort of fashion there. Unsure if that was actually a teabag or if it was just a little shimmy action. It's called footsies, look it up. But MetallicCake moving on after a very clean victory over Kyriachos 3-0. Kyriachos moving on to the loser's side of things to face the winner of Bluedude and Bread. That's going to be a really good match, I reckon. That one is to qualify for top 8 and Bluedude as well. I mentioned the upset over Olydog earlier tonight by one of the people we're about to see, Waisen on the Giovanna. But I failed to mention another upset that happened, Bananas, Potemkin main, over Bluedude 3-2, quite early on in bracket. Sending Bluedude down to the loser side of things, looking like they 3-0'd Pancakes and now fighting Bread on that Faust, who we saw earlier. But we're getting into another top 8 qualifying match. Soop, repeat performer in tonight's stream. Up against one of New Zealand's best, that is Waisen. Here we go, game 1, plenty underway, a burst already gone. Toss a fan. And Soop almost certainly riding the momentum that he had against Pow, which we watched 2 matches ago. Plenty happy to just play his game, and if he's not going to be challenged, then it's going to result in perfect rounds just like that one. Off to a good start here. Spin comes through. Run this pressure. Toss an empowered fan. Nagiha comes through. Backdash to avoid Waisen taking their turn back. And a 6p as well. And I mean, Soop is just so... well, not letting any opportunity for Waisen to respond. Look at this. What do you even do in this situation? You have to drop burst is the answer. But look at the health disparity. It's just one opening and that is going to do it. Double perfect there by Soop to kick us off in this stream. Very brutal pressure to deal with in your game 1, and that's gonna leave Soop feeling really good. Nice win over Power earlier into a double perfect in the game 1. Crazy stuff. Game 2 here, underway, and Waisen definitely not wanting a repeat performance of game 1. Ooh, looking for a burst by Soop. As I said, not looking for a repeat performance, trying to get their own pressure going, but Soop is now putting Waisen back in the blender. I mean, we're back. It's Groundhog Day in this left side corner. Send them through the wall, though, not keeping the corner this time. Instead, it's a hop into the RC, and Soop is on a powerhouse train right now. Absolutely wrecking house right now. Bit unstoppable. A mash out comes through by Soop. Now stuck in the corner yet again, dealing with this space pressure and just finding every opening. Absolutely running away with it right now, and Waisen really on the back foot. How are they going to use their burst? Unfortunately gets completely baited, just like the previous set with Power, and a tick throw to finish game 2. God, Soop is absolutely cooking right now. And Waisen, strong player in their own right for certain. But what can you do right now? It just seems like you're dealing with such a crazy, I don't know, steam train of momentum right now. Soop just can't really be stopped by the looks. But here we go, game 3 available now. Available, underway. Better way of putting that. And look at this, coast to coast yet again. Groundhog Day one more time. Stuck in the corner, and Waisen, yep, does not want to be dealing with the bar of that instant drop burst, and finally gets a little bit of a reprieve. With a counter hit 2D, forces a burst, Rin blocked, but RC to extend, and I mean, we're back in the other corner now. And run up throw finally gets jumped. Gives Waisen just a glimmer of hope going into this round here. Super for the hard knockdown, I don't mind that, but Soop does have resources to play with. Oh my god, it's just the wake up fast slash is going to do it. PRC, no. No pickup, but nothing a tap dust can't sort out for us. Crazy stuff, and many thanks for the raid, Pensado. Really appreciate your support, Penny. I hope you had a great stream. We are in game 3 of one of our top 8 qualifier matches in our ladder series for 2026. This is Soop versus Waisen, one of New Zealand's best, but Soop is having an absolute breakout performance here. Good choice to keep burst here. I like that choice from Soop. Just keep the resource and carry on your merry way into round 3 here. Find an opening off the fast slash. Toss a fan. And I mean, look at this. Waisen, yes, finally able to mash out of the pressure that seemed to never end. Counter hit is bursted. Nice choice to hold that spin as well by Soop. And we get another chance to run out Anji pressure. Rin overhead, and it's finally punished here by Waisen. Waisen trying to steal a bit of momentum back and finds an opening with the tap dust. Very nice stuff here. BRC forward. Into the Ko, into the Karako. Nice stuff. But where to from here? Nagiha into the parry, the same strat we saw last time. And all of a sudden, Waisen just one interaction away. Yes, fuzzy jumps against the throw. It's not going to end quite like that. Burst available for Soop, but it gets baited in the end. Very nice little momentum shift there for Waisen on the board now. And gotta be feeling good about that win. Was on the brink of losing 3-0, but not out for the count just yet. All right. Game 4 here. Dash up throw to get us started. And I gotta say, if you're Waisen, you really have to make the absolute most of that Game 3 victory. Really needs to be converted into a full momentum swing. That is a really difficult thing to do against a player like Soop, though. Doesn't seem like Soop is all that phased from losing a game. He's played these games before. He's been down a game or two in his career, and it's now at the point where that tournament experience is really showing. This is the utility of it. We do get opened up twice in a row there, and maybe a third time. Oh my goodness. Jump out of the pressure, but it's just flip kick after flip kick. Full meter here going into the post-wall rake situation. How's it going to be used? It's going to be BRC forward, but just the 2K. And the instant parry, is this going to kill? I think it will. Holy hell, what a crazy clutch parry there by Soop, and puts an end to that momentum in that round for Waisen. Now back on set point. And a nice timely spin as well. Toss a butterfly, get a little tick through action going. Now back in the corner yet again. We instantly burst, we spin, recover in time, but get caught out on the follow-up interaction. Perfect routing here by Soop into the super. Now it's going to take maybe one more counter hit opening for Soop to turn this into a set victory. One more tap dust, it actually gets mashed up. Beautiful timing there by Waisen. And the dash up throw, it gets back thrown, and there's nothing you can do about this guy. You cannot stop him in his tracks. Soop with a clean 3-1 over Waisen moves on in our bracket and qualifies for winner's side top 8 in our ladder series for this evening. Crazy performance right now by the Anji main. Well played by Waisen, but just cannot put a stopgap into that momentum that Soop is currently riding. Really impressive stuff here by Soop, I gotta say, moves on to fight Sky, our 3rd seed player for this evening. We'll see them on stream later. For now, Waisen moves on to the loser side of bracket to face off against Bread, not the Faust main, but the Millia main, the original Bread, to qualify for top 8 on losers side. That's a pretty big ask, I gotta say. Bread, the Millia, talking about game experience, talking about tournament experience. Don't get much more an experienced player than Bread. Playing the game for a very long time. Would love to see that, but we will instead see our first winners side top 8 match. MetallicCake, repeat performer, OCE's very own, up against Conflagads, another repeat performer. Saw this guy earlier on stream fighting against Cring, I think it was, in a 3-1 set. Went on to defeat GracialChasm in a 3-1 set themselves, and now responsible to take out MetallicCake and send them to losers. Huge ask for any player to do, but if we can rely on any player to do so, it might just be Conflagads. Here we go. Good strong start in this game 1 for the Ran main. Rekka 3 comes through, little RC extension keep in the corner, blocking that, and oh my goodness. What a back throw by MetallicCake. Burst is off the table now. Decides, doesn't want to deal with any of that, but MetallicCake, I mean, this is what this guy does. Finds an opening some way or other. Counter hit 6p, no full conversion, but that's okay. Follow-up overhead is going to do it. Little jab. Toss a sword. No tumble this patch. Oh, and what a frame trap. God, super delayed Rekka 3 there. Run pressure as much as you can. Toss another sword, but these jumps and the back throw. Second back throw of the set for MetallicCake. It's looking strong. It's an air dash comes through. And these two are scrapping it out pretty hard, but I mean, look at this. MetallicCake, plenty happy to play that fast game. Sword interrupts the TK note, by the way, but look at this. Not quite enough to kill. Instead, using the BRC for a follow-up mix situation, blocking all of the openings, but counter hit S-stroke, plus a little 2S action. That's going to be game 1 going to MetallicCake over Conflagads. Really nice stuff there. Okay. MetallicCake, as mentioned, easily forerunner to win tonight and the ladder series in general. But has to make his way through a lot of strong contenders to do so this season. One of the more competitive seasons that OCE has borne witness to in recent times, especially with how much people are improving at the video game. It's been really impressive. That said, MetallicCake himself, always on the up and up somehow, some way. You think he could ever reach a plateau at some point, but just never seems to. Ooh, slow walk up and the throw in game 2, plenty underway, by the way. Resources available in the post-wall break situation now. How are we doing it? Fully charged dive. It's PRC's back to stay safe. Toss a note. Oh my gosh, and tap dust. I think that might have been misinput throw. No big deal though. Run a little pressure here and no burst. No, it's not going to be bursted. Cake, plenty heavy to keep full burst in this round 2 and play from there. Instant windshield wipers on the round start. Very brave against a player like MetallicCake, but yeah, it didn't quite fully work out as we intended. Instead, going through the wall. Ivy dealing with that K-sword. Finds an opening, neither of which are RC'd. Not in range for 2S. No sword to do so, and it's just a little bit of a slow game now, but counter hit 2S comes through, and MetallicCake Conscious not to burst, but unfortunately falls victim to the impulse to press throw there, and one opening is going to do it for Conflagads, but do have burst on the side of MetallicCake. What are we going to do? 6p? There it is. But the Ondo comes through. Space pressure and a nice little dive there by MetallicCake. But nothing a thrown sword can't sort out for you. That is a game on the board for Conflagads. And it's nice to see. Look, listen. We all love to see MetallicCake absolutely cleaning house in whatever tournament he's in, but it always makes it for a little bit more exciting when the opponent is able to go band for band. And Conflagads right now, even Stevens with OCE's best right now. It's good stuff so far. Here we go, game 3 now. We'll toss. Fast Slash is the choice, and Conflagads decides they do not want MetallicCake's momentum to get going here, so it's a burst, it's 6p, and we try a run-up throw, but very brave reversal super there by Cake. Keep the corner, and an ACL as well, full conversion, that's enough to kill. Toss. Jump over, and we get caught in the corner. We're sending them through. And it's looking like a pretty MetallicCake sort of round. Look at this. Backdash called out with the overhead. And it's note instead of sending them through the multi-hit from the S-dive. It's going to be enough. And instant stroke the big tree. I think that might have been H-dive actually. My bad, gang. Nonetheless, MetallicCake up a game. 2 games to 1. Okay. Winner of this match, by the way. Moving on to face the winner of our next match. That is Soop versus Sky. That'll be an absolute crazy match to watch, gotta say. Can't wait for that one. Here we go. Game 4 now. Moving swiftly onwards, and MetallicCake also a forerunner to win the ladder series points itself, which carries its own portion of the prize pot. The winner, as in the person who accrues the most points in our 2026 season, is awarded 30% of the prize pool, which, just for reference, is just shy of $800 currently and climbing. So players have a lot of incentive to get as high a placement as possible and consistently gain those points. Conflagads, the higher they place, the likelier they are to be in the money, and I mean, it's a big ask against a player like Cake, but what a block on the tap dust, by the way. Wrecker, RC, keep it going, but just a throw in the end is going to do it. Could very much be in the running for that top 1 spot. Though they're going to have to start a bit more podium placements. Pretty quick smart if they want to be up against a player like Cake in that running. Nice little light confirm there. Yeah, backdash, counter hit, nice smash out by MetallicCake. Really critical juncture there. Great recognition there was a window. MLA to send them through. BRC forward tries an air dash or an air throw. Not enough though. Oh my goodness. Deflect shield barely working out there, but it's 5k RC, and that's going to be enough for MetallicCake to put him on set point here against Conflagads. Don't want him to run away with the momentum, but you've only got 1 more round to do it, and now look at this. Maybe 60% health, make that 40. Toss a rock, and we really have to play every interaction perfectly from here on out. Resource advantage for Cake, and we find another opening with the simple dash in. Find them opening up with the low. Can't optimize. Unfortunate for MetallicCake. Could have been the end right there, but it's just one more opening here for Cake. Is going to secure the set. Counter hit fast slash though, a chance. Just a glimmer of hope for Conflagads. Just needs the exact right counter hit to open things up, but it's instantly stuffed out with a 5k. Perfect defense by MetallicCake. Best to ever do it. And Cake moves on in our bracket to winners finals. Classic Eno main, absolutely tearing it up. And Conflagads moves on to the loser's side of the bracket, awaiting their opponent for a little while yet. Our loser's side top 8 still has yet to be fully determined, but I can say with confidence that on the loser's side of things, Hermano, really strong Inters player, has made it to top 8, besting a lot of strong players in their path. Lady Glacy on that Queen Dizzy, then Kenji on the Jam, and Bananas as well, who caused an upset against Bluedude. 3-2 to make it to top 8. We'll be seeing from Hermano shortly, as well as Bluedude, who's qualified. But for now, it's going to be Sky versus Soop, and I'm very curious to see whether Soop's momentum can be carried out in full or to full effect against a player as solid as Sky. Sky, our number 3 seed tonight in the ladder series tournament. Oh, and what a back throw there. Great recognition by Sky to throw the Fujin attempt. Snip comes through, but unfortunately made saved by a hammer. Chopper coming through. Afro available for Sky to make use of. Instead, it's just going to be the bomb. What a block on the overhead, by the way. Great recognition by Soop, but it's going to be a 5k punish plus. Akara mix. This is surely going to be enough to kill with the extension. Great routing there by Sky. And as I was saying, yeah, Soop clearly having a great run tonight, clearly running away with a lot of momentum, but that is the kind of player that strong fundamental players take advantage of the most. As long as you're consistent with the blocks, consistent with the punishes, consistent with the interrupts and the conversions, what more could you possibly need against a player like Soop? We'll have to see. Nice block and a little 5p punished by Sky as well. Overhead comes through. Nice RC. That's a lot of meter to spend on a 2p starter though. Spin. And just the 2p RC playing really quick, easily matching Soop's pace and getting herself on the board here. Sky up 1-0. Nice stuff there. Pretty quick game, all things considered. And a little bit of item shenanigans tossed in there for good measure. But we can remain faithful in the Anji, I'm sure, to at least get a game, if not two. Perhaps even take the set. It would be a bit of an upset, but currently Soop playing well enough to justify the belief. Here we go, game 2. Underway now. Can't hit fast slash to start us off here. Good little starter for young Soopington, but what a mash here, and oh my god, parry is tried. It's a little brave. Of course, that is how Soop loves to play, but Sky plenty able to take full advantage of that. Empowered Nagoriyuki comes through, get a spin for a punish and force a burst out of her. Spin to deal with the hammer and instant parry there. Actually works out in this situation. Don't mind that choice by Soop, actually, even to commit with the parry. Sky has been showing a lot of mash, but what an air throw in response to the Ko. Whiffing there. Tries a 6p. 2H keeps them in the corner, but we're just tossing items left and right here, and we get called out on a hammer on the way down. One more opening, it's just CS in response. And Sky not letting the momentum get too out of hand here. Big counter hit 5H now. A big route here from Soop. This is really going to do a number on the health bar. Bit of meter available for Sky. Not quite enough for a YRC, but we do have first. Crazy health disadvantage to be dropping resources like that, and it's just going to be holding onto that resource. Soop gets the round, but we go into our third round with full burst compared to Soop's maybe 75% or so. Throw against the spin. That was a really nice recognition by Sky, but we get a full punish off the back of the spin, and now burst. That's why we kept onto it. Going into our third round punish on the wake up, but it's counter hit 6B here for Soop. Fujin, no cancel. I like that. Rin finds its mark. We're getting our pressure going. Another Rin comes through. Another Rin. Why not? It's been working 4 times in a row here. Surely it wouldn't work a 5th. And it actually doesn't. With good patience on the burst. Timely manner. PRC forward. It's J2K in response by Sky and a tick throw as well. Will this build enough meter to RC? Yes, it will. Will it build enough to kill though? Yes, it will. Anji Guts can't save you in that situation. Very nice stuff from Sky there. Very fleet-footed decision making there to do a little tick throw. And very fortunate that we built enough meter to RC to extend. If we didn't, that could have gone quite south, but Sky knows her routes. And Soop now needing to make a reverse sweep happen, and that is a mountain to climb. Gotta say, that is a lot to ask of a player in any situation, but especially against your number 3 seed of the tournament. With how well Sky is playing right now, completely matching Soop's pace. Something's gotta change a little bit here. It feels like Soop is on the brink a lot of the time of just making a victory happen, but Sky just a little further ahead, a little quicker in those key moments. So here we go. Game number 3 here. Plenty underway. Soop comes through with a spin. No full conversion, but that's okay. And the jab. Nice 6P reaction against the J2K. Got to be ready for those. PRC for the optimization and good recognition there. Projectile popping Sky up a little bit. Tosses a meteor. First one of the set, and we get the cross up with it as well. Afro on deck, but it's just the wake up throw. Nice choice by Soop to call out a little bit of fake Oki. Just a crumb of footsies to start us off. Bit more patient, 2D whiffs, but not that big a deal. Another meteor, and we spin it. Good choice, good recognition by Soop right now. Nagihar comes through, forcing the burst out of Sky. Mini Faust on deck now. Not going to matter too much. Mix actually whiffs though. And Soop ready to take advantage. Good recognition of the spacing situation there. Rin RC comes through, and that's going to be a full conversion. Send her through with the super as well. And it's looking really good for Soop now, but look at this. Lots of resources available for Sky. It's not going to matter. We're mashing on Wake Up, and Soop is on the board. First game of what could be a reverse sweep. Anything could happen tonight. I gotta say, I've seen crazier things happen in tournament. And Soop playing well enough to justify the belief. As I mentioned before, it's not unlikely, but Sky playing just as well. Gotta say. Alrighty. Game 4 now. And look at this. Both players affording each other quite a lot of respect now. I think they're both recognizing that they're both playing quite a high standard right now. Just very respectful of effective ranges. That said, caught mashing in the frame trap. And that is going to hurt. Instant overhead comes through for Sky. We get a full conversion off of it. That was a very nice route there. Spin. Makes its way through, and it's going to be Gold Burst in response by Sky. One of them is a Meteor. Doesn't have too much influence, but look at this. Oh, we get caught trying to dodge the bomb, but actually get caught by it instead, and now Sky on set point here. Might not be entirely over yet for Soop, but I mean, look at this. Looking for a burst with that jump cancel as well. Soop not biting. 2 PPRC doesn't work out, but the follow-up spin interaction will. And we get caught, maybe trying to jump out of that pressure. Oh, and what a bone crushing comes through. Great reversal there in the midst of Soup's pressure. Roughly equalizing the health now. It's going to be cross up, mix. Stoops still hanging on to the burst. Are we going to see it at any point? Great patience here. It's just going to be a fuzzy jump to call out the snip. But where to from here? Rin. Overhead Nagihar. It's blocked. Tap Dust is blocked as well. Great reactions by Sky. And a run up throw is teched. But it's Gold Burst in response. Gold Burst in response. But where to from here? Just the run up throw. That's almost going to do it. Plus the OTG 2H. That is the set for Sky. 3-1. Crazy set there. Insane interactions there. Great snap decision making there with the gold bursts by both players as well. Ends in an absolute barn burner. Very nice stuff there. Sky moves on to face MetallicCake in our winners finals. That's going to be an absolute heater of a match. And I can confirm our final top 8. Wow, it's actually really quite crazy. Bread Millia main has made it to top 8. 3-2 over Waisen. Really impressive stuff. The same Waisen who knocked Ollie Dog down to losers, and that same Ollie Dog now out of the tournament. That's our 2nd seed falling to our 4th seed, Grace, who has made top 8 and will face Bluedude after this match on your screen right now. We're going to be seeing from Bread versus Hermano. Crazy top 8 right now. Winner's side, of course, we saw Metallic versus Conflagads, and just now Soop versus Sky. That is your confirmed top 8 for this evening. And a real breadth of players and characters here. I'm not sure we have a single double up in terms of character rep. Certainly not here. We've got Soul versus Millia, Hermano versus Bread. Here we go. Top 8 losers side now. Moving on swiftly in our bracket. Hermano, I think this might be their best ladder placement so far. Guaranteed 7th now. And what blocks on this pressure? Perfect defense out of the Soul main. And Hermano, really a fundies oriented player. Sort of saw, well, we see a similar strategy, a similar approach by Sky, who we just saw before. And this is the same kind of player, really fundamental, really patient, very opportunistic, and look at that instant back throw into the super for style points. Why not? Send it on through. And yes, if you feel like donating to the prize pot, it is currently at a staggering $2,600 that these players are fighting for by the end of the season. Absolutely nuts. If you want your name read out at our next community milestone, feel free to donate. An exclamation mark, donate, go to the link. Feel free to chip in whatever amount you like. All of it's going straight to the players who make the top 8 invitational and the winner of our ladder series. At this rate, looking like Ollie Dog, but now out of the tournament, not going to be getting as much points this tournament as MetallicCake will be. I think it was already due. Nice bait on the DP, by the way. Already due for a shake-up in our podium standings right now. Perfect routing, by the way, by Bread, but no super to capitalize. That's a bit devastating, but run up throw is jumped out of. Very nice stuff. But yes, if you want to donate, have your name read out at the next community milestone, feel free. ! Donate, go for it with whatever amount you like. Back to this game though, we are in the middle of game 1, round 3, between Hermano and Bread. And Hermano, yet one of these such solid players, but Bread, I mean, years and years of tournament experience playing pretty much only this character. And that's got to count for something. And I mean, right now, major health disparity, called out the backdash with a follow-up CS, and that is game 1, a perfect round to put Bread on the board here. And if you're just tuning in, this is our 13th and 16th seeds for the tournament. So a couple of upsets have taken place in the course of this bracket. Bread taking out the likes of Waisen and Cring to make it all the way over here after being knocked down by Grace, who herself has made top 8. Really impressive stuff. What a bait on that burst. An Australian player after my own heart. Cross up on the mix attempt. And what a block on the TK Bad Moon. Nice stuff there by Hermano. But you're going to be opened up eventually. Stuck in the corner after a Bad Moon takes you all the way down. Oh my goodness, what an Estes. Stun Dipper has tried, little PRC action as well. Tap dust comes through. And Hermano trying to make the best of a bad situation here. Bread, a lot of resources available to him. But what a counter hit JS with the follow-up conversion. That was unreal spacing. And instantly bursts out of the follow-up counter hit. One more opening for either player is gonna do it. It's whoever finds the right opportunity. The 2K actually comes through, but doesn't end up comboing. DP and the tap dust follow-up in the scrap, which lasted seemingly forever. Hermano taking that round. What an interaction. What a sequence there. Hermano ends up being the more opportunistic in that moment. Bread probably not too phased though. Come back from plenty worse situations in his time. Cheeky little Capel. Plus sending him through with the super. Neither player really wanting to give up their resources if they can help it going into a possible round 3, but Hermano's not going to make it particularly easy for Bread. 2K 5D, that's going to open up just about anyone. And now Bread, one interaction away from losing the round and the game here. Really has to be careful. Dash up 2K, forces a burst out of Hermano. Oh, and what a perfect 6P from Hermano. Absolutely gorgeous timing on the fall down there. And that puts them on the board, tying it up 1-1 with Bread. Great stuff so far. Both players playing really quick, I gotta say. Oh my goodness. 6P to start us off in this game 3 here. Players tied up a piece, and Hermano starting to run away with a bit of momentum here, it looks. Huge health advantage right now. Just running that pressure. Big counter hit here in response by Bread. Full burst gone. Now where to? The side swap comes through with the turbo full. And a full conversion. Now look at this. Double super route. Can we do it? No, it actually does hit. The winger does make contact. Very fortunate for Hermano. Opened up with the follow-up. Oh my goodness. Bread's patience to not burst there. It's really impressive, but in the end, Hermano takes it. Resource advantage now in round 2 here for Bread, but I mean, Hermano seems to be Really making the most of these openings that they are getting. Stunned up a no combo. Bit unfortunate there for the Kai main. Turbofall comes through, it's blocked. Great recognition, but now we just get to run our mix. Oh no! Don't get the full extension off the hair card. That's a little awkward here for Bread, but we do eventually get another opening come through. And look at this, just running our game plan. Overhead is blocked, but instant low does open you up, and that's going to be enough. Very nice. Okay, round a piece here. Where to? Resource advantage available for the Millia, but perfect air-to-air counter hit there. Now, dealing with a bit of corner pressure now. This is tough to deal with, and a perfect conversion, forcing a burst out of Bread. That new move, man, the lightning strike, it's a lot to deal with. You are minus afterwards, but doesn't always feel like it with Hermano. Crazy haircut on block, by the way. No cancel. Dire Clap comes through, and you just have to land one more fireball here or a lightning strike. That's all it takes, but the JD is actually 6P'd in response. Instant burst. Don't blame Hermano for doing that whatsoever. It's to jump in JK. And that's all you need. Hermano really pulling out all the stops for New Zealand. It's good stuff. 2-1 now over one of Vic's veteran players. Okay. And these players on your screen right now have earned themselves at least a good chunk of points in our ladder series. 7th place tied they each get, I believe. It's 15 points each for 7th place. One of them will be earning at least 20 if they win this set. It doesn't sound like much, but it actually sends you up the ladder and secures your spot amongst the top 16 pretty well, I gotta say. Points are structured so you get rewarded a bit more in top 8. Okay, here we go. Haircar, RC. Bit of pressure going on. Artemis finds a counter hit. And we're bursting these. Hermano really wanting this round. Quite brave. But look at that. Finds the opening with the stun dipper. And we're not bursting this just yet. There it is. Another stun dipper. RC comes through though. Tries a tick throw for your trouble. But Bread is always jumping those ones. Finds the opening. And definitely looking strong right now. Trying to tie it up to a 2-2 situation. Jab. A little opening again. Just going for the simple conversions and running the mix as much as possible. Nice pressure there by Bread to secure that round and the game. Tying it up 2-2. We'll have to see who comes out on top here. Whether the experience of the solo main will move on, will be enough for Brad to get himself a little further up that ladder, get that extra couple of points with 5th place guaranteed, or if New Zealand's going to show up in this top 8 bracket, Hermano, I believe the only Kiwi rep in the bracket for top 8. A lot riding on their shoulders at the moment. Oh, never mind. Sky's in the bracket too. there's two Kiwis. Hell yeah. Chilling after the 4th game, and nerves are high. As they should be. Pretty serious stakes that we're playing for. Hermano perhaps considering which character to go to. They are known for a couple of different characters. Their Sol, their Kai, and the Lucy as well. This seems to be a bit of a pocket pick for Hermano of late. I've had the privilege of fighting their Lucy recently, and it did give me a lot of trouble, I have to say. Maybe this switch up is exactly what Hermano needs to secure this final game. Basically a first to one at this point in our game 5. How much experience does Brad have against Lucy? We'll have to find out. Hermano really strong on this character, but will it be enough to secure the set? We'll have to see. A couple openings here for Brad in our game 5, doing serious damage. Massive health advantage now. But this is how it starts. Get to run our pressure. Sort of get out of that pressure string much as we can, and now quick hack super comes through. Playing menus out here. Little peach shooter action as well. And Brad just trying to find a way in from the sky, but it's not working out. Instead you get back thrown. Back to neutral we go. Oh my goodness, the descending JH. Are we bursting this? We are. Hermano insistent. Wants it right here and now. Brad, no 50 meter available to RC or anything. Now they have it. RC forward, it's JP in response. Counter hit, and Brad now on set point. Really strong what IBs from Hermano. Crazy stuff there. Wow. Brad just zooming around the screen, making it so difficult to even keep up with. What a backdash from Hermano, but it turns out to not be enough. Oh, what a press there. Oh my gosh, and they're just so back and forth. It's an absolute scrap fest. Who is going to find the killing blow here? It might just be Brett at this point. Finds a 2K2D. We find the opening as well, and this is going to be surely enough. Send them through with the disc, and that is Brett taking the set 3-2 over. One of New Zealand's finest, Hermano. Hermano now out of the ladder series number 5 bracket at 7th place. They accrue 15 points for our ladder series. A good chunk of change. And a great performance this evening. Really close stuff there in that set. Very impressive. But Brad, the experience wins out in the end, and they move on to fight another well-experienced veteran who we've seen a couple times tonight. That is Conflagads. In not our next match, but maybe the following. We'll have to wait and see. For now, it's going to be Bluedude versus Grace. First time seeing both of these players tonight, which is very nice to see. Glad that we get to see both these players at least once tonight. They've done well to make top 8. Had a couple upsets against them earlier in the bracket, but that was clearly not enough to stop them from making top 8, securing at least 7th place. But both these players definitely in contention for the top 8 invitational, I would say. Definitely players to watch as well. Here we go, game 1, plenty underway. And Grace, if you're not familiar yet, you will be with her Sin. Very much a random select main sort of player. Can play just about any character that she wants. Was previously on the Dizzy most frequently, but looking like Sin is the choice here for her in bracket. Big believer in the Sin this patch, and I can't blame her. That character is stupid levels of strong. And Bluedude, on the other hand, staying loyal as ever to the Secretary of Defense. The Goldie, probably OC's strongest Goldlewis at this stage. Oh my goodness, deflect shield. Active frame slowed down just enough to keep active in that situation. Tries an L-Con under the drone, doesn't quite work out. But wow, what a counter hit CS there. A slow walk out of the corner, and Grace takes full advantage. Very nice stuff. Now Grace with a quite sizable resource advantage. Backdash, though, is called out and dealt with in kind. And now dealing with all this pressure, Bluedude. Couple openings there that we didn't make the most of. The drone sends you through. Unfortunate that it's the drone that sends you through because that stops you from getting killed. But all it takes is one jab out. But in saying that, mashing at the wrong time could just end things here and now. Sour Spot keeps Bluedude in the corner, dropping the bad super, by the way. Burn it all down. Little 2K action. Trying to FD out, and it's just run up throw. I'm never going to let him live that one down. That's just the rule. I'm sorry. 6-8-4. Kicking us off in this round 3. Trade works out in Bluedude's favor, but it's a DP in response. And yet again, Grace with much better resources here finds an opening and calls out Bluedude's backdash. That's going to be enough to surely to send through. Little eat, little super as well. Oh wow, but your run-up throw attempt, it's stifled a bit. Now Bluedude gets to make the most of it. Swaps the corner. Again, the drone sends you through. Might have preferred to keep the corner in that situation, but we just have to make do, unfortunately. Here we are. Burst is delayed perfectly by Bluedude. Drops the bad super and sends her through the laser beam. Game 1 going to Bluedude. Mistake represent here on the board. And Bluedude, the lone mistake representer in top 8, I think. To my recollection. Clearly one of the favorites to make it further into this top 8. Grace, though, I haven't yet had much of a... Well, I haven't yet had the privilege to see much of her sin, but I'm sure, based on game 1, it's going to at least get a game here, if not potentially the entire set. Timely DP there. Good restraint, not just ripping on Wake Up. I certainly would have. But I am a Leo main, so you know. You can't blame me for my inherent nature. Grace playing a bit more patient though, a bit more opportunistic. Tries a 6P, but insane that your burst gets baited. No punish, that's very fortunate for Grace. Little anti-air action, a backdash, tries a back throw, but just a little spaced poorly, and it's going to be the super that sends you through and gets the round for Grace. Okay, little block string, send him through the corner, but Grace now, with the tables turned on her DP in response, gets you the hell out of dodge. Ooh, big driver there. Spamming coming through. Gold burst is the choice by Bluedude. We have 100 meter available. Grace trying to find any sort of whiff punish, but certainly stifling these entrances, these initiations that Bluedude is going for. Oh my god, this is gonna hurt. Opened up with the Behemoth Typhoon, tosses a drone to keep the corner, and it's overhead finding the mark into the down the system. And that really hurts for Grace. Good resource situation in this follow-up round, but still, Goldlewis, he can just turn things on a dime, as we've already seen here. All it takes is one nasty counter hit, maybe one nasty Behemoth Typhoon. DP. And a counter hit Fast Slash, looking good for Grace in this round so far. Oh, but the super unfortunately doesn't combo, just a little late. We have to RC out of it. And we get shimmied out of our throw attempt. Sending him on through 6P after the BRC forward. Drops a drone to run some pressure. Another overhead, it's backdash though. This pressure is so much to deal with. Perfectly timed burst there by Grace. BRC forward, it's blocking the gold burst, but how do we go from here? It's run up DP, extremely brave. Little minigun as well. Can't afford to keep that out too often, but the JK, it finds an opening, but no combo. one interaction. There it is. Just the 2K. After... What's that one called? That was really tense, but in the end, Grace coming out on top in that game. Now on the board. Nice stuff there. Okay. Winner of this match, by the way, moves on to fight Soop on the loser's side of the bracket. And the loser is out at 7th place, winning 15 points on our ladder. And if you make it into top 8, you are awarded with an extra 10 points than you would have gotten if you didn't make top 8. That is to say, 9th place gets 5 points, whereas 7th place gets 15. Nice little bonus. You get rewarded for making it to the big leagues. Both these players have made that, but trying to add more to tonight's winnings. We're just taking a breather, just chilling a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. Hope everyone has been doing well. If you've just joined us, welcome to our Guilty Gear Strive tournament series. This is the Antiku Strive ladder series for 2026. Our 3rd installment of the tournament circuit overall. It's our prized circuit taking place over 4 or so months, and it's the most competitive circuit of the year. These players are really putting on a show tonight, as they always do, and has been doing for the last 5 or so weeks. We have 16 weeks of competition. People battling it out to get as many points as they can for a chance at the end of season top 8 invitational. You make it to that top 8 invitational, you're in the money. You get a portion of the prize pool allotted to you depending on how well you do in that tournament, and the person who ends the ladder season with the most points gets 30% of the pot all to themselves. Right now, 30% of the pot is about just short of $800. So players are really turning it out right now to get as many points as they can right now, with Ollie out at 9th tonight, who was our former ladder forerunner. It's looking like MetallicCake is about to take over in terms of the points lead. And once Metallic gets going, I mean, it gets harder and harder to stop him, I gotta say. So if you're thinking about playing the ladder, I'd start pretty quick. We are 5 weeks out of 16 into this. Still fairly early. Still plenty of opportunities to build up some points. Get an opportunity to play in the top 8 invitational. Maybe, if you're cracked, even win the ladder points regular season. I'd encourage you to get on that now, because these players have been playing consistently and are running away with these points. Both these players, Grace and Bluedude, very much favorites to make the top 8 invitational, and we're about to see why in this game 3 here. Loser side of things. Loser of this match out at 7th. The winner moves on to fight Soop, who's been having a stellar performance tonight. Grace, little shimmy action. And just got word as well. We were ping testing a little bit there. Sounds like an inconclusive result, so we just continue. It's Gold Burst by Bluedude. Really wants this round right here and now, but unfortunately not ready for the jump in afterwards. It's a clean, simple conversion for Grace. Up around now. And these backdashes might just be the end of Bluedude. Grace has been very consistently taking full advantage. Get a clean hit with the Tyrant Rave as well, and what a timely throw by Bluedude. This could be the shift of momentum he needs, but it's quite a big ask here. Oh my goodness, DP is actually clash cancelled out of somehow, some way. Crazy little interaction there that kind of happened a little too fast to even see it. But in the end, we're stuck back in the corner as you like, and an instant conversion into the Tyrant Ray. Very nice recognition from Grace there. Great confirm, and she is up 2-1 over Bluedude now. Pretty convincing stuff. But are we going to a game 5, or is Grace keen to just end things here? We'll have to see. Bluedude sticking with his guns on that Goldlewis. Not interested in perhaps testing out the Pocket L felt. The patented, the one and only. Those who know. No, we'll be seeing no such shenanigans tonight. We're sticking it out all the way with Goldlewis. Game 4 now on your screen. And Grace, clearly plenty able to play a variety of styles. I mean, Dizzy, sort of a zoner, set play, mix-ish character. Sin, just about as far away as you can possibly get. She is plenty comfortable running strike throw. Bit of shimmy action, perfect spacing on these normals and these big drivers. Full conversion as well, and that is almost the round. DP in response. It's almost a perfect round, but now you've given Bluedude a chance back in here. Where to? It's just jab, jab on wake up. Good choice, and the big driver chip damage will be enough to secure that round. Grace now on set point against Bluedude. She wants this win and the chance to face Soop, earn more points for herself in this ladder series. Bluedude bursts down, drops a drone, runs it down. Fortunately, it was a low security level drone, so not much you can really do there. And look at this, Grace just stalling Bluedude out with very safe buttons here. I mean, it's just clinical at this point. One more opening is going to do it. Looks for a reversal on wake up. Just completely shutting Bluedude out of any opportunity. We drop the laser. If we can make anything out of it, no. But the follow-up interaction, we do find an opening. This is Bluedude's chance to make something real happen. Instant burst on the 2K. Looking for a DP as well, but great patience by Grace. It's YRC in response, BRC forward. And the overhead with the hoof stomp. Grace taking it in very clinical, very composed fashion over Bluedude to knock Bluedude out of the tournament at 7th place. Grace moving on to fight Soop in our losers quarterfinals match we just watched. Losers 8ths. Very nice stuff there from Grace. Impressive Sin as well. Not many tournament appearances on this character so far, but clearly a force to be reckoned with going forward. We move on, though, to watch the one, the only Millia main up against what seems to be Conflagads. Ramlethal Valentine main, who was doing some great work earlier in the tournament. In fact, knocked Grace down to the loser's side of the bracket themselves when they were previously on winner's side. We also saw them 3-1 over Cring and then eventually falling to MetallicCake 1-3. So great effort here by Con. But from here on out, it's going to be no games, baby. It's going to be no messing around. We are playing for sheep stations at this point, and it's Conflagads versus Bread. Here we go, game 1 underway now. And I honestly I can't even give you a reliable prediction as to who's going to be winning this one. It really could be either Bread has a couple of standout performances under his belt in the history of OCE's tournaments. But this is Conflagads we're talking about, and if you can't I don't know if you can't tame the beast, as it were. Well, you're in for some trouble. In saying all of that, we have a double super route available this time. The winger does find the full effect, and we're caught mashing twice in a row there. Red taking full advantage. Tries the windshield wipers on round start. It's a little brave of Conflagads so early into the round, but I don't mind the attempt. Oh my goodness, the patience from Bread just to wait out the gold burst, just completely ready for that. Unreal. 2S counter hit into the hair car, and that is clean as you like. A perfect round for Bread in this game 1 losers 8th set. Unreal. You don't often see this guy in online tournaments these days. Busy with what he's got going on, but when he does show up, it's clearly a sight to behold. Amazing stuff. Okay, Bread up a game here. We move on, game 2. Toss out some normals, and now Conflagads already clearly adapting their playstyle to be a bit more reserved. But in saying that, Bread just right there with him. Completely ready to take advantage of the more reserved playstyle. Run in, get a little 2K action going, jump in and out. Weave in and out of Conflagads' effective range. What a block on the TK Bad Moon though. Oh, and the air to air. JP. This is the Ram Classic. Another hard knockdown. Finally blocking those. Red getting out of there and reversing the momentum. Bit of a swing here. Same side. Get caught on the follow-up button though. Turbo full Mirage into the winger. Is this enough to kill it? Actually is. Incredible. I thought that was going to leave Conflagads on a sliver of health, but not this time. Now we're running out pressure, finding these openings. 2K, a bit of a south spot interaction. It's no big deal. Empty jump. Now Conflagads is getting to play the game. It's looking a little rough here. Toss a sword. It's no Mortabato this time. Let's keep the meter for the post-wall break situation. Play careful, cautious as much as you possibly can. 5K, 5K. Oh my goodness, and what a JH on the way down here. Mortabato to secure it. Round apiece here for both players. Wow, CS, okay. Where to from here though? Tricky to say. Bit of a had a vision there. Conflagads was going to press fast slash a little earlier, but no. Now burst gone from both sides. A flip RC is going to do well for Conflagads, but no. We actually missed time, the 6H, and this is looking rough now for the Ram main haircar RC. Drop it to keep the corner. 2K 2D and the turbo fall. We're blocking it though. And now where to from here? Gotta play the Fly Swatter Simulator. Oh my goodness, gets opened up on the same side. Toss the disc, and that's going to be enough with the 6H. Red up 2 games, coming out of the scramble alive. Okay. Conflagads down 2 games. That's, again, a lot to ask at this stage in the tournament. We are really whittling down to the cream of the crop now. And getting games on any of these players. It's going to take a lot of focus, a lot of determination, if you want to make it into something as substantive as a reverse sweep. But that is what Conflagads has to achieve now. A lot throughout tonight, we've seen players win the first game of a reverse sweep, but then not get too much further than that. Conflagads needs to be the change he wants to see in the world. Win all 3, not just the 1. We're in game 3 here. 2K, little run up. Stuck in the corner, but we mash out. Oh wow, and the flip causing the sword explosion to be cross up. Nice little trick there by Conflagads. Sends Bread through. Double jump, and Bread has just been making excellent use of this air approach here, I gotta say. Double jump into the turbo fall, down, or a little JH action as well. It's working out so well for him right now. Looking for a burst there. Nice attempt, but Conflagads too ready for a JS. Does find its mark, but not enough to work out, and we mash out on the tap dust attempt. Toss a sword. 2k, 5k, run the pressure mix. Wrecker 3, but it's not punished. And the jump over the sword. Simple as you like. And Bread, in the scramble, on a sliver of health, puts himself on set point now. Looking very promising for the Millia. Conflagads, it's all has to happen right here and now. Have to make the most of everything from this point forth. We toss a sword that isn't there. We have to drop burst as a result, and now it's looking a bit dire. The combo from the sword explosion does force a little burst out by Bread. But look at this, running corner pressure, swordless, doesn't matter, we get a throw. Sword back in the game, and a flip is gonna do it. Stealing a round away, but have to make it into another one, and then games after that. How are we gonna manage? Hard to say. Bread really cooking right now. Great conversion. Conflagads now gets counter hit. And now on about a third health, a crumb less. And we cannot afford any mistakes from here on out. Bread with full meter, full burst soon to be. Get sent through the wall, and this is a tricky situation now for Conflagads. BRC forward, spend 50, but we get counter hit in doing so. And another counter hit, JH on the way down. It's burst virus. Conflagads. Oh my goodness gracious. Are we going to see a TK family? No, the YRC comes through, the gold burst comes through, and we get a conversion off the Daro. Oh my god. Absolutely clutch conversion there by Conflagads. Absolutely needed that one to win that game and win that round. Bread could have just ripped all sorts of metered shenanigans, but in the end, not given the opportunity. Yeah, maybe a bit of a panic burst there by Bread, the 2k 2D, maybe a misinput, something happened there for Goldlewis to come out. We'll just have to see whether we keep our nerve or whether Conflagads can run away with things. Another air sword toss, but it's not there unfortunately. YRC to deal with the overhead pressure. Now Conflagads really seems to be running away with things. Look at this massive bait on the throw, and Conflagads, this is what it looks like when Con is allowed to play his game. You barely get a chance to respond. It looks so dire. Stuck in the corner against his Ramlethal, dealing with his pressure, dealing with the resets, but look at this. Block on the windshield wipers. Bread staying strong here in the face of adversity. Nice blocks in the mix though, and wow, perfect block on the TK Bad Moon. Seeing a lot of blocks in response to that by our players tonight. Turbo Fall. Stand blocks to deal with the possibility of TK Bad Moon, but it's flip RC, and this game is very quickly getting out of hand for Bread. Toss a sword, run up, throw, it's teched. Good little defense here by Brad, but we have to convert this into more openings. That's a great start though. Sending them through. Any counter hit should do for Conflagads. If we can make the most of it, it's going to be a flip. Cross-up sword explosion, and Brad instantly drops the burst, says, I don't want a bar of it. 50 available for Brad. How are we going to use it? Lush Shaker action. Capel, it's blocked though. Conflagads really wants this round. It would be great for the momentum. Finds a 2S 5H. Where to from here though? Oh, the 2K still patient with the burst, not losing their nerve just yet. And it's 5H in response, and Conflagads, with the makings of a reverse sweep on the board, ties it up 2-2. Long rounds here, by the way. Got down to about 24 seconds there in that game 4. But you do what you have to get the win. When we're playing for money like this, you gotta do what you gotta do. And Conflagads now on the brink of making a reverse sweep come to life. Red, on the other hand, one last chance to avoid the reverse sweep from happening. One last chance to stay in this tournament. A big counter hit JH is a great start, and forcing the burst out of Conflagads is even better. We find another opening, but weird little routing there unfortunately gets a side swap. Not the most we could possibly make out of it. Instead, we have to drop burst on our own. TK Badmoon whiffs, and now suddenly Conflagads, once stuck in the corner, now running their pressure, and it's looking a little bleak for Bread now. Charge Dust routing, keeping the corner, and it's just a simple walk-up throw. Where to from here? Tries to escape, but Conflagads says absolutely not. BRC, we have to hold that sword. It was just about to explode. And we get a critical opening there by Bread, and the jump up, calling out the deflect shield. Waiting just the right amount of time to take advantage, and Bread on set point after the scramble. Absolutely crazy stuff here. Welcome, Raiders, as well. You've joined at the perfect time. We are witnessing a crazy match right now between Red on the Millia and Conflagads on the Ramlethal with the back throw. Winner of this match moves on in the bracket to face Anji main Soop, and the loser is out of the bracket. Absolutely crazy turn of events here. Bread with full burst, but no health to speak of. Conflagads almost about to take this round and put us on a final game, final round situation. Where to from here? Bread with a small opportunity to run up 2K2D. Finds an opening. This is so much health to get through though. And we just jump out of it, but it's 5 PRC by Bread. The cross up. One more opening is going to do it for Conflagads. We really want it here and now. We are technically on set point, but there it is. We toss a sword, and we are now at final game, final round. Bread versus Conflagads. Who's going to take it? Perfectly even resources at this point. We get a knockdown, and quick as you like, the burst is already gone on the side of Conflagads, but we get called out on our backdash. Full CS starter into the conversion, into the super. This is a great start for Bread in this final round. How do we make the most of this? Just run our pressure, try and bait a throw. Conflagads needs some sort of counter hit. There it is. And Erdogan tries a run up throw, but Bread ready for it this time. No more games to be played. We have 50 meter for one final mix. How are we going to use it? It's YRC in response by Conflagads. Back and forth. So tense right now. Which player is going to find the opening they need? 5H counter hit comes through and forces a burst out of Bread. No conversion off of the air-to-air hit. One more opening for Bread is going to do it, but the Darrow finds its mark. Who is going to take it? It's so neck and neck. Conflagads needs to make everything perfect happen, but it's just not enough in the end. And Bread, in an absolute nail-biter of a set, takes it in the final round of a Game 5 thriller. Absolutely unbelievable gameplay we just witnessed there. Crazy stuff from two of OCE's strongest. But Bread moves on, having a real fantastic performance, a rare online showing by the Millia main. But clearly one to remember. Conflagads out of the tournament at 5th place, earning themselves 20 points in our ladder series. Excellent showing by the Ram player, but just barely by the skin of Bread's teeth makes it happen for them. Conflagads out, Bread moving on to fight the winner of this match, which we're about to see. It is Grace versus Soop, and these players, especially Soop, have been playing unbelievably well tonight. Really good time to be tuning into our ladder series. We are deep in top 8 right now. If you're keen to check out the current bracket standings, it's !bracket in the chat for the link. And these players have both been playing unreal so far. Soop with some crazy, really unbelievable gameplay so far on this Anji. Any new viewers, you're more than welcome to contribute to our prize pot, by the way. Donate in the chat. All of your money goes towards the prize pot that these players are fighting for in our top 8 invitational at the end of the season. Soop, Grace. Oh my goodness, Grace calling out the parry. She's been representing that shimmy so much in tonight's bracket, and it has been working out to great effect for her. Round 1 to Grace. Soop left with better burst, but want to hang on to that advantage as much as possible. Ko whiffing, forcing that burst. Now it's gone. 2K, drop a butterfly on them, run a bit more pressure. Another reset comes through. Oh, and the 2P RC, we're ready to convert off of that with the side swap, send them through the wall. Great recognition by Soop in that heat of the moment decision. Another butterfly, but Grace this time not afraid to challenge. Overhead with the hoof stomp, looking for some sort of parry option, but this time Soop patient enough for it, and full RC extension. Great choice by Grace to hang on to the burst as well. Up about maybe 40% bar compared to Soop, and about to make the most of that advantage. Oh, the run up throw, it's backdashed. Cheeky, but the spin thrown in response. And a big conversion here for Grace, looking really strong out of the gate here, and baits out the parry a second time. Soop cannot be relying on that too much in this set going forward. She is clearly just too cognizant of it. A perfectly timed DP in the gap there of that string, and a full conversion. RC plus a charge dust is enough to secure that first game for SBW's Grace. Goodness. Been casting for 2 hours straight, and it has been absolute high octane back-to-back matches. I'm barely hanging in there myself, but absolutely amazing performances all around from our players, especially this top 8 so far. It's been absolutely nuts. Still can't believe how that Bread Conflagads set went. Absolutely insane ending, but we're going to be seeing more and more of it going deeper into the bracket. Winner of this match plays Bread, who you saw on that Millia earlier this evening. Sure to be a fire set, and that isn't even winner's side, by the way. We're still yet to see from our winner's side players MetallicCake, seed number 1, versus Sky, seed number 3. Great performances by both of those so far, but here we go, game 2, well underway now. And I gotta say, Soop has been making a lot of value out of these anti-air 6Ps all throughout all the sets we've seen him in tonight. It's been very effective so far. That said, Grace seeming to be just ready to DP in the middle of those strings, but not quite ready to block the tap dust. It is a little difficult to react to. I can't even front. I've been hit by many myself, and the pressure is absolutely on right now. Here we go. Health roughly even. Back and forth meter roughly even. Just about all bars on screen roughly even. Never mind, slightly in Soop's favor. Make that almost hugely in Soop's favor following this super. This is a great start for Soop. Looking for some sort of bait there. Super a DP something. Tosses a fan. Fujin no cancel. Don't blame it. She has been very consistent with those DPs, as you can see. Very consistent throwing spin as well. And yet again, another DP comes through. Tries an Alcon RC. Doesn't quite work out. And Soop just playing a real patient game. Grace, another DP coming through. It works out yet again. Oh my god, and the 6-speed clash into the cancel. It works out for Soop in the end. And they tie it up 1-1 on the board here against Grace. Goodness gracious. Pun intended. So back and forth right now. Soop having such a breakout performance. I think possibly their best ladder performance in the season so far. We have 5 tournaments out of 16 for the season. And Soop is really turning it up for this one. Wants to secure their place in the top 16 with as many points as possible. That said, so does Grace. All players playing their heart out right now. Fuji and Nagiha comes through. It's punished though by Grace. Completely ready for a 2k punish there. And the full coast to coast as well. Really impressive stuff there by Grace. Full corner carry. Powered Fujin comes through and Soop thinking twice a little about whether to cancel off of Fujin. Unfortunately, the parry comes out and it whiffs again. The sour spot. Tyrant Rave though, that's not exactly what Grace might have wanted. It's an air away and it's burst at the exact right time, stuffing that super perfect defense by Soop. We have an extension to boot. Can we keep the corner? Yes, we can. It's a hop, skip, and also a jump. And maybe even an overhead chucked in there for good measure. Soop taking that round in a really clutch scenario there. Any other time to burst other than in the super might not have worked out. DP by Grace, and it's just a run-up CS as well. Great starter here. That's really going to hurt. Buffed up from the eat. Clean hit super to boot. Oh my goodness, and tries a wake-up throw for Soup's trouble, but not quite enough. That'll be another counter hit starter. Barely a sliver of health left. BRC to try and steal some momentum away, but this round is almost as good as gone. I say that, but look at this. Throw resets coming through. Where to from here? They've got to be careful with how we use. Fujin tries a jump cancel. Oh my goodness, very close to being baited a second time, but Soop not ready to bait off that counter hit. Instead, Grace just run up CS. It's not enough. The overhead is blocked, but not the follow-up. Grace, fortunately, winning the round off the back of that follow-up overhead. Foot stomp. Nice IBFD on Wake Up, by the way, and yet again, Grace showing that she's ready to DP all of those. Oh my gosh, and a counter hit fast slash in response. But DP, Grace, just such a great intuition as to when to rip that meterless reversal. It's really hard to know sometimes, and look at this Soop now routing into a bit more fan resets because Grace has just been too consistent dealing with the Fujin pressure. That said, the one time that you need to be perfectly consistent, it doesn't come through, and Soop takes full advantage. Now up a game on the board, 2-1 against Grace. Really turning up the heat right now, Soop. Been on stream, I think maybe a good 3 times already this evening, and in each game we've seen him play, he has been absolutely chefing it up in the kitchen. Amazing stuff right now, Grace. A bit new, a little new to the Sin, all things considered, and in saying that, looking like we are going to see a character switch to the Unika, which I frankly did not even know Grace played, but I'm not surprised. It's Unika time, baby. And of course, no switching on a win, so Grace will be sticking out the rest of this set on the Unika. We'll have to see whether it's tournament ready against the powerhouse that is Soup's Anji. Hard to say. I mean, Soop has been playing so well, and to bust out a relatively new character, certainly newer than the Sin, I think, that is a lot to ask of any player. Rin, lots of pressure coming through, looking for some sort of DP. Again, no instant cancel from the Fuji, and I don't mind that from Soop, but mash, and you're stuck in the corner still. Look at this risk that's built up. Oh, but what an air throw by Grace, and this could be the exact momentum shift she needs. Look at that. Megadeth Buster coming through, baby. And we have the RC, we have a counter hit, we force a burst out of Soop. It's tapped us, but it's... Oh my god, deflect shielded, but the RC in response, there were like 5 layers of interactions there that just happened, and in the end, Grace comes out on top with the air dash back. JS, oh my god, that was too quick to even commentate. But just barely coming out on top in what seemed like a round where she was permanently stuck in the corner. It turns out able to make the most of a situation. Now look at this. DP slightly misrouted. Ko comes through. And look at this. Both players just absolutely caution to the wind at this point. Why not? You have to play like your life depends on it at this point. Your tournament life certainly does now. The loser of this match out of the tournament. Out at 5th place. Crazy stuff here. Moves on to fight Bread, the Millia main who we saw earlier. That's going to be a serious contention. And now Soop is trying to punch his ticket to that match. Now on set point. Toss a fan. And a Fujin finally not cancelling from the Fujin works out. But unfortunately we dash cancel. Don't quite get the dash cancel Ko that we might have been after. Instead, we're back to running regular pressure. This is still a great position to be in, as to we've got a little bit of risk to make the most damage we can out of this. Very nice stuff, and now Grace needs everything to go perfect for her right here and now. She cannot afford one single opening. It's that. Oh my god, it's just the little tick throw that does you in the end. Soop keeping up this stellar performance tonight, winning the set 3-1 over Grace. Trying to pull out all the stops with the Unika. The Sim was looking really clean, but Soop just on another level tonight. Guarantees themselves at least 4th place, which is another 30 points to add to your ladder series total. Grace, on the other hand, out at tied 5th, earns herself 20 points. Still very commendable work. Very nice gameplay we were seeing from that Sin. Tried a Unika in the end, but didn't quite work out. We move on to winners finals in this Strive Ladder Series tourney number 5. Seed number 1, MetallicCake. On the right side of the cab on his patented Eno. No pocket chip, no shenanigans at this point. He's keen to cement his place as the number 1 player in the ladder series at the end of this tournament, up against seed number 3. That is Sky on the Faust. Crazy stuff. All those matches, by the way, that we just saw, all of them losers side of the tournament. That's the quality of competition that is going on right now. This is your 2 strongest players in the tournament so far. Cake versus Sky. Here we go. Tossing a couple items, and Sky already down burst. Here we go. RC looking for a burst, but Metallic a little too tempered with that. And oh my god, an IB 2S punish on the golf swing. That was unbelievable. Very small, but very crazy interaction there. Dive RC finds its mark. And we have run another 50-50. Sky blocking it, but not the follow-up. And we have enough for Super. That's enough to kill easily. Clean round for MetallicCake. Little jab round start. Dash in. Gotta always be confident on the Eno, I have to say. Can't spend too much time sitting at full screen HCL. You gotta go in at some point. Cake knows that better than anyone. And look at this. Putting Sky in a really tough situation. Empty hop throw. And just the low as well. Gets them every time. Yup, there it is. Fully charged just to make sure that we have enough damage to kill. MetallicCake taking game 1 over Sky. Clean, clinical, all synonyms that we're used to referring to MetallicCake with. Seems to be plenty appropriate in the current game we're witnessing. Sky, not much room to really breathe there. Got a counter hit or 2 in her own right, but She's going to need a whole lot more than that if she wants to cause this upset. Alright, game 2 underway. Burst instantly gone. Sky recognizing that an early burst is probably to her benefit. With the amount of momentum that MetallicCake can generate off of a single opening. I don't blame her for bursting early. Kara thrust. Tries a double overhead, jumps out of the way, but I mean, MetallicCake ready for anything, and I mean anything in this game. You throw any situation at him and he will defend it correctly. His overhead comes through as well in the post-wall break, and that's enough to secure the kill. Another hop, and yes, Sky has been representing that round start 2P a lot. MetallicCake taking advantage of that, putting her in the corner, nice little jab out to reset to neutral a bit, but from here, I mean, it's tricky. Look at how locked in, locked down Sky feels at the moment. HCL, HCL, it's how do I even approach at this point? Look at this, you just get S-stroke in response. 2K, 2K with the 6P looking for a little bit of a burst. Sky doesn't bite, she's patient enough, and there it is, drops it at the exact right time. Scarecrow PRC tries a backdash, but look at that counter hit 6H. Plus the MLA is easily enough to kill MetallicCake off to a roaring start with these first 2 games. Great stuff by Metallic. I mean, he's looking like he's absolutely bulldozing this tournament. And his thus far biggest rival and greatest thorn in his side, Olidog, is not in the top 8 to cause any grief for him. It's looking like it might be a fairly free avenue into winner's side grand finals, but we have seen game 5 on game 5 in this tournament, and I wouldn't be surprised if Sky could come back and make it yet another one. But of all players to do it against, I mean, this is the most difficult opponent possible. So if she can make it happen, huge kudos to her. This is the start of something good. It does force a burst out of Eno, but it's just HCL on HCL when these item tosses are coming through. A Meteor on deck doesn't have too much effect. We are just filling the screen with projectiles. Yet another Meteor actually finds an opening, and why not toss items at full screen? This is a really well thought out adaptation, I think, by Sky. We tried playing the footsies game. We've tried trying to use normals as our primary means of dealing with MetallicCake, but it's just not working out. Instead, item toss is the option. But I think MetallicCake knows that. He's plenty ready to take advantage in whatever way he deems best. Full conversion as well, and quick as you like, we are already on set point. H-stroke, conversion, and this is looking really strong. Yep, HCL on HCL, and Sky ready to deal with that little run-up action. Mini Faust, and where to from here? Massive counter hit 2H, that is looking really good for Sky. Doesn't bother with burst until now. It's the dash up, the JH comes through. Oh my goodness, tries across that mix, but again, MetallicCake completely ready. 6H, no cancel. Like the confidence. Oh my goodness, 5H trades, but caught mashing on the wake up, and we get the full pickup as well. What a route by MetallicCake. And it's just one more 50-50. Blocks correctly, but bone crushing comes through. Are we able to convert? Yes, we are. Counter hit to us. Perfectly calculated by MetallicCake, and he punches his ticket easy as you like into winner's side grand finals. A clean 3-0 over Sky. And that's not something many people can say these days. Sky moving on to losers finals. Guaranteed herself at least third which nets her a minimum of 40 points in tonight's bracket. Gonna be facing the winner of this next match we're about to see. That is Bread versus Soop. I can't wait for this one. This one's gonna be crazy. Both these players can be super chaotic. Both these players can be, I don't know, just like really wild and momentum heavy. And both these players have handles which are named after food, bread and soup. Isn't that such a fitting name for one of our winter matches? No. Food matchup, baby. Pairs together so well, and yet forced to fight to the death. Kind of sad when you think about it, but hey, it is what it is. Thank you all so much for watching, by the way. We really appreciate everyone tuning in. It's been an absolutely barn burner of a bracket this evening. Crazy performances all around. Couple different upsets as well. Seeds 2, 8, 6, 4. They're all out of the tournament now. We are just left between these two players on your screen. Bread, 13th seed, Soop at 7th. Both easily outperforming their projected placements to face off against Sky and then potentially MetallicCake at the end of it all. Absolutely killer bracket so far. Just waiting on Soop to come on through, maybe reset their computer, their game, don't know. Have to wait and see. Absolutely amazing stuff here. But yes, appreciate your viewership very much. Appreciate all the raids as well. Hope everyone who raided tonight has had a lovely night watching our Oceania Strive tournament circuit. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing it to you so far, and we're not done just yet. We've got at least another 3 matches to go, possibly a 4th if we get a grand finals reset in there. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, knowing my luck, we'll be going down to final game, final round of the reset. But just waiting on our next match to commence. Just gonna check in with our production team, see where we're going, see where we're at. Seems like, well, technical issues, but no big deal. Hope everyone having a great night. There is Soop on the cap now. Maybe we're disbanding the room. That's okay. Never mind. We're chilling. We're chilling. We're getting stuck into it. Soop and bread. Goated food combo in the winter. Forced to battle it out for 3rd place. Loser of this out of the tournament at 4th. Here we go. Squad Up's own on the Anji versus Bread on the Millia. And here we go. Big counter hit comes through. Overhead. And look at this pressure. I mean, this is the blender that Soop has been putting everyone through tonight. Just put them in the left side corner and run this fusion pressure, and oh my god, instantly and so quickly they secure the round with a perfect straight off the bat. Soop playing so well right now, and I mentioned earlier in the stream that Bread has a wealth of competitive experience at their benefit, but I mean, how are you possibly going to stop somebody with such momentum like Soop is? I mean, run up 5k is just spun, you're tick thrown, and you have 100 meter to play with. What are we going to do? It's Nagiha RC, tap dust, RC not even needed. Soop running away with that first game in our loser semifinals match. Crazy. It's looking, I mean, if the rest of the games tonight are anything like what we just saw and how Soop has been playing, we are going to be seeing a clean 3-0, but I mean, Bread has been having their own standout performance this evening. Rare online tournament sighting by Bread often shows up at our locals down here in Victoria, Australia, vis-a-vis. But less so in the online. Clearly can still hang with the best of them though. The most competitive OCE tournament circuit of the year. But goodness gracious, Soop absolutely on a wrecking ball path this evening. Very impressive stuff. Ko actually whiffs, and look at this. I mentioned before how chaotic these players can possibly be. Rin overhead comes through. Both players just absolutely sending it right now. Ko comes through, finds a counter here, but no conversion. Bit of a weird angle on that hit. Rin comes through, not enough to get the job done. Oh no, and dash up 2k. This might be the opening Bread needs. Never mind. It's just a simple mash out on the special cancel. Good recognition by Soop there. Ko had a vision, didn't quite work out, but now stuck in the corner. Bursts pretty much instantly. I don't mind that choice by Soop. Will give him a lot of time to regenerate burst going into a possible third round if needed. Oh my gosh. Nagoriyuki comes through. We IB'd the Fujin before trying to punish, but oh my goodness, the deflection just barely times out and we get punished for it. Sent on through the wall with the super, and now comes down to a final interaction here. Oh my goodness, just the patient decision making by Soop, putting him in a 2-0 situation over Bread. In our losers semi-finals, this guy can barely be stopped, possibly only by the remaining players in our tournament. That is Sky and MetallicCake. Remember, Sky, the player to knock Soop down into the losers side of things. That was 3-1. Wasn't a complete wash. I mean, Soop was really going hit for hit with her, but it might just be Cake and Sky who are the only ones left that can stop this guy. Red, yet again faced with a reverse sweep situation on his hands. Can he make it happen? That's the question going into our game 3. Major ask. As per usual, parry actually happens but not punished. Nerves completely on overdrive right now. Oh my goodness, just a spin forward Ko as well. We are just pressing right now, but why not when we're feeling momentum like this? Might as well. Little mixed situation for Brad, but spin actually works out in our favor here. 2H on block, that's plus, and a little jab action. In response by Brad, we got 50 to make the most of this mimic situation. As disc RC is the choice, and we're going to be taken straight to the corner here with this Bad Moon. Oh my gosh, blocks on that, but unfortunately on the follow-up situation, not gonna find the blocks we needed there. Instant burst in response to the counter hit fast slash. And these spin forwards Ko's, they're not quite working out for Soop. Maybe a bit of a flaw in the game plan right now, which Brett is taking full advantage of. Getting opened up on the tandem top. Oki and sent through with the winger. Massive explosion coming through, and Bread really only needing a couple more openings, but Soop here with a chance. Opens them up with a Rin. Tumble, no RC to make the most of it. Instead, Rin blocked on the second attempt, and Bread ready for that one. Full burst available, and actually works here. Oh my gosh, but just the hair car comes through to crush that 5k attempt, and we've got another set on our hands here. It's really not going one way or the other very clearly anymore. Soop still got a lot of momentum, no doubt, but really has to put an end to Bread's chances right here and now. Really doesn't want to be caught in a game 5 situation with this guy. I'm pretty sure he's won every single game 5 he has been in so far. Do not want to give him another chance in those circumstances. Game 4 now. Soup's still at the advantage, 2-1. But really needs to put an end to any shenanigans. And right now it's looking like Bread yet again has an opportunity to just run away with the reverse sweep. What a perfect parry though. Correct side on the mix. Great recognition by Soop. And now it's stuck in the corner yet again. Caught jumping out. We have 100 meter to play with. Yes, we do drop YRC though. But it's a counter hit in response. 10 on top. It's jumped out of. Good recognition by Soop. That was a fake setup. And then JP. Oh my gosh. 6p to avoid the S there. Great recognition. We have burst. Are we dropping it here? No, we're not. We're hanging on to it. Brave choice by Bread, I have to say, because this does put Soop on set point. We need to make the most of this burst. There it is. Has to go early. We need as much time to regenerate it as much as possible. But preferably before we end up dying. Rin is blocked. Great block. We do burst to keep the corner. I don't mind that from Soop, but Tap Dust is jumped out of. Still stuck in the corner. Nagihar, it's blocked, but it's empowered. Can't be punished. 2K is in range, but 2D is not. And now mash out by Soop. Rin blocked yet again, but we are caught out on the follow-up CS. And Soop, with the final interaction of the set, winning losers finals. 3-1 over Bread. Putting an end to the Millia shenanigans and putting an end to the Game 5 sweep. This guy is absolutely devastating in. Unbelievable. Soop, with such a phenomenal performance tonight, secures at least 3rd place for themselves in the ladder series tournament. That's a good 40 points to add to their ladder series points total. Bread out at 4th place. Very commendable effort, especially with how little they tend to play online Strive. It's really amazing. They've still got that dog in them. And they exit the bracket with a total of 30 points in our ladder series. We move swiftly on to losers finals. This is Soop versus Sky on the Faust. And this is the run back, by the way. We saw this matchup earlier in the tournament. Winner's side top 8, Sky versus Soop. Sky took it 3-1. Seemingly the only player this evening that can put a stop to Soop's rampage. We'll have to see if that remains the case. And if you have enjoyed this evening's bracket, I encourage you to donate whatever you can, whatever you like, to the prize pot. ! Donate in the chat. Takes you to a link for our Streamlabs. Donate links. Feel free to drop as much or as little as you feel like. Get your name shouted out at our next community milestone, which will be $3,000 is the next time that our streamers will be shouting out your name. Do it in increments of 500. That's how we do it. And we do a little graphic as well, listing your name and the amount you contributed to our ladder series this year. We appreciate absolutely every cent. So if you've got maybe even 5 cents left, just chuck it on in the pot. Go straight to our players. 30% goes to the winner of the ladder series. 70% gets divvied up between the top 8 invitational qualifying players. And for reference, said it a couple times tonight, but the winner of the ladder series points at the moment will be getting just shy of $800, which is, yeah, a bit of money. Looking like we're just remaking the room though. And no issue at all. Sometimes necessary. It is Strive. You know how it is. Hope everyone's been enjoying this evening. It's been such a pleasure to cast. And such a pleasure to be exposed to the insane gameplay that these players are capable of this evening. It's absolutely unreal. I cannot imagine myself playing this playing this well under these conditions so consistently. It's just unreal to think about. And Chill Gamer 12 has entered the lobby. We're back, baby. But yes, couple upsets, as I mentioned earlier tonight. This tournament has really gone sideways a bit, and I mean, it happens most ladder series brackets. That is the nature of the competition in this tournament circuit. The top, I would say even like 10 players maybe, can really get games off of each other pretty straightforwardly. It's rarely a wash 3-0 situation. It's almost never that. Unless maybe it's MetallicCake playing, in which case you got your work cut out for you. But just before we get there, we've got losers finals for tonight's Strive Ladder Series, number 5 in the 2026 season. We are off to the races. Soop versus Sky on that Faust. This is the run back. Sky was the only player who could put even a mild dent into Soop's momentum this evening, and it's really shown so far. She was able to scrap a bit with MetallicCake, lost the set in the end, but all other matches she's played so far have been so solid, so pretty much impossible to break through. And I mean, look at this, ready to just rip reversal super right in the middle of your string, completely explode it and completely steal the round away with that OTG 2H. Very nice stuff. Round 2, and I'll be curious to see how Soop has adapted from the first set. I mean, as I was sort of saying back then, the type of player Sky is really benefits a whole lot against players who are just ready to absolutely run the gamut of momentum. I mean, look at that. Just a spin straight into the meteors. It happens like that sometimes, and Sky is plenty able to keep space, play safe, play chill, and secure that first game. All right, that was pretty convincing, Soop. I'm wondering what adaptations we can make from here. Maybe slow down the game plan just a little bit. It's so hard to pump the brakes a little bit, just a crumb at this point in your tournament when you've made it so far into the bracket. But it might just be the approach he needs against a player as opportunistic and reactive as Sky is. Spin on spin. Maybe not. Maybe all you need to do is keep the accelerator going. But I mean, when you do that, that's what happens. You'll get back thrown in the corner. Really, spacing will be taken advantage of to the fullest extent possible. Toss an Afro. It's 2 PRC. Not letting the item shenanigans happen. IAD. Afro gone. Nagoriyuki comes through and you get fully punished with the 5k BRC. Very nice routing there by Sky. Overhead with the mix plus the BRC extension. That's definitely going to kill. Super impressive routing there by Sky. And as I said, those changes, they need to be made here and now. But I mean, look at that great air throw by Sky, forcing a burst in the follow-up situation and a whiff punish with the full PRC extension, by the way. What a crazy route that was. Tries a charge dust. She's really feeling herself right now. Gets a parry into the homies, but it doesn't actually matter in the end. Finds an opening with the 5H. Gets the conversion. This is one small opportunity for Soop. Has to make it happen pretty quick smart right now, and the IAD is going to afford that for him, but no, just barely improperly timed and improperly spaced. And it's going to be a J2K RC. Send them full screen with the bar slash. The descending button plus the Nagoriyuki is going to do enough chip damage on block. Roughly equal resources going into this third round here. Soop would love to make it on the board here. Spins through the weight. Tosses a fan as well. Rin comes through, and this is the same blender that Soop has put every other player he has faced on stream through. But Sky, maybe the one who can do it all, the one who can escape the evil pressure. Another parry through the homies. That's 50 meter just to deal with the homies. That's kind of an unbelievable spend, but this is the kind of momentum that Soop is riding right now. Why not? Oh, a very nice choice there, just to go back for the trumpet instead of the fishing line. Toss a weight, keep the corner, and send them through with the 6H. Sky now up a clean 2 games over Soop. Whew, and it's happening so fast. It's going by so quickly. Now Soop, faced with a reverse sweep on his hands. I'm not going to count anything out. We've already seen so many reverse sweeps tonight. We've seen so many game 5s. These players are going the distance. But Soop now has to make it happen. This is do or die if he wants to make it into grand finals. And disprove that Sky can possibly put up a fight. But I mean, she is really making a great effort to do so. Soop sending her through the wall with the super. Little slow walk up, bit of swag. Fujin, bit of delay. Pressure as well. Trying to air block the weight, doesn't quite work out. And nice mash out on the mix. Opens them up with another low, and now full meter. We toss a million items. The tap dust is actually chicken blocked. Oh, but no, we're wearing Afro. We get sent up into the skies. And Sky is easily going to convert that into the super. Well and truly enough damage to kill there. And now Sky, quick as you like, on set point here. Trying to punch her ticket into grand finals against MetallicCake. It all comes down to this. Mistimed a meteor. Now you get back thrown. That's really going to hurt. A meteor available as well. Mashed out though. Just mash. Absolutely brutal air throw as well. Tossing the love, and your burst gets baited. Absolutely devastating. These players are playing a mile a minute right now. I can barely keep up, and it's the golf swing in the end that does Soop in. Soop. Great performance. But now out at 3rd place for our Strive Ladder Series this evening. Unbelievable. Really unbelievable gameplay and an amazing run by the Anji main. Can't lie at all on that. Really impressive stuff, but Sky, too solid. Too rock solid, and can easily match Soop's momentum when needed. Toss enough items, press enough buttons, and eventually he will fall. Sky moving on to grand finals, loses side against MetallicCake, OCE's strongest player. And I cannot wait to see this match. Last match we saw between these two was winners finals. This is seed 1 versus seed number 3. And MetallicCake ran away with it 3-0. Made it look like nothing, and Sky, seriously strong player, as we've seen tonight. But MetallicCake just sort of built different, you know? What are you meant to do against OCE's top 1? We'll have to find out in this grand final set. MetallicCake winners side on the Eno against Sky, losers side on the Faust. Here we are, grand finals, Strive Ladder Series number 5. Let's get it. After the races already. Dive block, no punish. MetallicCake already in the driver's seat. First item, Meteors. We get a side swap and it finds the mark. This is an opportunity for Sky, but the backdash on the snip attempt, crazy. Crazy wake-up option by MetallicCake. Enough to send through with the super as well. BRC, run a bit of mix, block it all, but just dash out of there to avoid the PRC snip. Why not? Tries a jab. Doesn't quite work out. Double overhead. Again, not working out against MetallicCake, but the follow-up 2H does. Toss an item, a counter hit CS. And we have enough meter to route into the super. Bone crushing comes through, baby. Now, one more opening for Eva. Potentially another opening for Sky. The snip is actually made safe by the hammer. Cake, conscientious of it, tries a stroke for their trouble. Mix tried as well. Overhead, it's instantly bursted by Sky. She wants this round right here and now, but unfortunately the HCL is not going to do it. Oh wow, and the MLA counter hits, and that is absolutely massive there. Perfect routing to get the wall break as well. Great advantage here for MetallicCake, and I mean, look at this, finding every single opening he needs, fully converting it. This game one is going by in the blink of an eye, but perfect blocks here by Sky. Not enough follow-up though. One more burst available, times it perfectly, but another counter hit overhead. A perfect round from MetallicCake. On winner's side in grand finals, it might just be another 3-0 on our hands, but we'll have to wait and see here. And thank you kindly to Soop for the raid. Congratulations on your run this evening. Absolutely unbelievable gameplay we saw all throughout tonight. Should be very proud with your performance there. I certainly would be. Soop making it out of the bracket with 40 ladder points. Huge advantage over the co-competitors at this point. Jumps up the ladder quite a lot. Second place of grand finals that we're watching right now will receive 50, and the winner receives 70 ladder points. MetallicCake wins this. He skyrockets up to, I think it's 220, maybe more, but easily in first place on the ladder ranking. Sky as well shoots right on up there, probably up to the top 8 position. Looking really promising for both, but of course they both want to win this one. Cake wants to completely cement his lead. Insane IVs, by the way. And Sky wants an opportunity to challenge the top dogs in the ladder series. Here we go, HCL comes through. That's plus, and you are dead off the back of the conversion. Stroke is tried. Down a round right now in this game too, and Sky looking maybe a little lost at the moment. I mean, when your opponent is this solid, can deal with any situation you throw at him, you are left wondering, well, what do I do here? What can I possibly change about my strategy to be effective? I've tried tossing items, I've tried the normals, but where to from here? This is looking like an okay start. Look at that, counter hit, JD comes through, and the super as well for the kill. Very nice there. We'll confirm from Sky. Secures that kill. MetallicCake with the burst advantage now though. And might not even need it at this rate. Easily not going to be on defense anytime soon. We now have 50 meter for an extra layer of mix. It's going to be the dive RC, the classic from MetallicCake, and enough for super as well. That meter build up was absolutely nuts. Where to from here? Looks for maybe a gold burst or a burst bait of some description. MetallicCake not even bothering to burst this. Happy to just hang on to the resource when he might need it next. And your mashup gets stuffed a little bit. There it is. That's why you hang on to burst there. And it's 6p. Burst in response by Sky. Which she might have been looking for a super there. MLA comes through. And just the HCL on block. That chip damage doing enough. And MetallicCake flying away with this grand finals right now. 2 games up against Sky. And I mean, here's the situation, folks. Sky needs to win 3 in a row against MetallicCake. Probably the biggest ask ever of a player in our ladder series tonight. But not only that, she needs to win another 3 following that. It's almost an impossible task, but Sky's been playing so well so far. Despite the losses to Cake, everyone else has fallen to her convincingly. But I mean, MetallicCake, man, it's what are you meant to do, really? I know I would struggle. Reversal super comes through. Great deflect shield by Sky. Gets the hell out of that situation quickly as possible. Golf swing, whiffs, gives Cake an opportunity to approach, and he's going to make the most of that 5H somehow, some way, picking up from that range. Unbelievable. Nerf that button right now. And the follow-up opening as well, off the back of the low. MetallicCake, quick as possible. Already on tournament point in this game 3. Looking for a burst off the back of that counter hit. Sky doesn't bite. But it's now or never. MetallicCake just about to take it all. Burst already gone on the side of Sky. Just spamming HCL. Completely content to drop the projectiles as needed. Against the item spam. Why not? We've got the homies on our side. We have 100 meter just almost on our side. We actually empty jump but get back thrown for our trouble, and that's a big counter hit. We're actually keeping the corner though. 2K2D comes through. BRC forward. Back jump tries a snip, but it's just not enough for Sky, and this might just be the end of things. Dive comes through, no full conversion. HCL actually gets completely stuffed there. Fortunate set of circumstances for Sky. One more interaction will do it, but so will another HCL as Scarecrow comes through and it's fully minus. But oh my god, Sky actually coming out on top in that situation. She's clinging to life right now. Actually insane recognition there to Scarecrow like that while Mini Faust was out to protect you. But is it gonna be enough? You have to convert this into another round and then a following 2 games and another 3 games after that. It's just so crazy and ask. Can she do it though? Trumpet comes through for MetallicCake, and that's actually a really important, useful interrupt for him. Gets in the hell out of dodge now. Much better resourced in this situation. Finds an air throw, and where to from here? The low is blocked. The overhead is not. Is this going to be enough when optimized to kill? It absolutely is, and MetallicCake winning Strive Ladder Series 2026 number 5 in a insanely convincing fashion. I mean, what more is really there to say? MetallicCake having an unbelievable tournament run as per usual. It's just another day in the office for this guy. Remaining OCE's top 1 player by a massive margin. Sky, congratulations on her run for sure, securing herself 50 points tonight and shooting right up on the ladder. We will get the ladder update to you later throughout the week, but at this stage, MetallicCake is taking first place over Ollie Dog, if I read my notes correctly. Very exciting and such an absolute killer set to end us off tonight. Thank you all so much for watching tonight's ladder series. We run this every single Wednesday, 7 p.m. AEST time. If you're tuning in internationally, that's when we run it. 7 p.m. AST on a Wednesday. We will be running another 11 of these tournaments in our regular season. So feel free to drop by in the next couple of weeks and see what the ladder's looking like then. As for us now, we will be raiding our good friend August Buns, and we'll be seeing you in another ladder series later down the track. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate your viewership. Really appreciate everyone who donated. And we look forward to seeing you at our next ladder series next week. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.